Oh, Nunes just knocked her down, but she ain't hurt. She's just okay. Refs standing them back up, but Nunes connected with a good right, knocked her down.
Did y'all see them? Heard about them 5 fights that broke out in the Bills training camp?
In the who's training camp?
Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, it's not too uncommon. Guys get, even though they're on the same team, but
yeah.
Deal though. No, I hadn't heard about it.
Yeah, it was the first one was
Hazes. That's the bad part. Them Hazes really.
Oh, she knocked her down again.
Yeah.
I mean, she's not hurt, but she's just connecting with her, and the ref standing them up again. But yeah, she knocked her down again.
Only matter of time now.
Yeah, man. Yeah, cause she's not hurt, but Nunes is hitting her.
Yeah, but it's the ref's decision, isn't it?
Yeah, but he stands her right back up, and she's good. But she can't take too many more of those, though.
Yeah.
Eric, you the only Bears fan on here, right?
Right, yeah.
Who's your team, Doc? Are you from Chicago?
No, he a green yellow.
Oh, him and Blake both. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know why I hang around them.
Bro, y'all gonna get that boy killed. I hope that line good. Josh Fields gonna get killed.
First of all, he gonna get himself killed trying to run the ball like that.
Well, man, who's Rodgers throwing to, Doc? Who's Rodgers throwing to? Who's his number one now?
We got a couple of rookies. I ain't got my phone. We in the same boat as the Bears, but we actually got people to throw.
You got Aaron Rodgers. You ain't never in the same boat.
Yeah. Y'all lost Robinson, so y'all really kind of out there in the field, like lost.
Yeah. Aaron Rodgers coming out looking like the dude off of Con Air.
Right. Yeah, like Nicolas Cage. Yeah.
Nicolas Cage with Cameron Poe. That's the character's name, Cameron Poe.
No, when I saw that, I was like, oh man, he just got a comparison.
That's a great
I
movie.
liked it. It looked spot on too. I was like, he might look a little bit bigger than Nicolas Cage in that, but he pulled that thing off.
The team that scares me is Buffalo on defense and the Buccaneers offense. They just
got freaking Julio.
That's nuts.
Yeah. And the thing about it, like everybody's saying, Julio's banged up. He's hurt. He's not the same.
Bro, Julio he
don't have to be. Yeah, he doesn't have to be the number one.
But you could tell he was holding out in Tennessee. He did not want to play.
Yeah.
He did not try to play over there. Because he knew Derek was getting the ball. Like he knew it's a running back team for Tennessee. Team.
Yeah, that's my brother's team.
Damn, knocked her down again. Yeah, and they signed Kyle.
I went to school with the running back.
Yeah.
You went to school with Derrick Henry?
Yeah, I knew him personally. Yeah.
Really?
Oh shit.
Yeah, I've known him for a long ass time. Like literally, I joke with him like when they talk about seeing the picture with him having his long ass dreads. Like he literally had like little, like looked like a little spider on top of his head for the longest time because he was sitting there trying to grow his hair out for so long.
Oh wow, nice. Yeah, one of the guys I went to high school with, he went to the NBA.
Okay.
Julian Wright.
I love Derek. He was actually at SummerSlam.
Well, yeah, Derek, man, that dude is the moose, is what I call him.
The craziest thing is he didn't even get big until after, I would say, the 10th grade year. Because he went to this Bulls camp and literally just like he looked so freaking different after that Bulls camp. Like Bulls High School, it's like a real big like private school in Jacksonville.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like basically like getting all the up and coming running backs and stuff like that. And literally ever since he came back from that camp, like he looked like a daggum just animal. It looked like somebody just took him into a lab and just made a monster. I was like, where the freak did you come from?
Yeah, he's a freak.
And that boy's just been big and big ever since.
But to be that big and be fast is scary.
Yes.
The funny is we were training him just to be a linebacker. He did not want to be a linebacker. Because he committed, his first commitment was to Georgia. Because Georgia literally, Georgia was the only one coming close to giving him what he wanted.
Mm-hmm.
But he's a diehard Florida fan. Like, he wanted to go to Florida, but they were only going to put him as a linebacker. Like, Georgia told him, hey, we'll sign you on as a running back. You're going to have to earn yourself there. But then they tricked on him and said, no, you're sticking at linebacker. We need you at linebacker. You're too big. You're too big. So
big boy
looked at it as Alabama, which I really thought was going to be – I really didn't think he was going to last long in Alabama because the running backs they had at that time, I was like, you're never even going to get it down. Like, you're gonna have to change your position. Like, one of my friends, he went in as a wide receiver, and they put him in at South Carolina as a linebacker because that was the only time he was gonna get playing time. Like, it was just those differential things, and I was shocked. And like, there was a couple of times he was about to leave the school because he wasn't getting any reps or anything, and then that freaking Sugar Bowl happened, and he just there's Derrick Henry, and you'll never hear the end of it.
Henry.
Nice. All right. We're gonna get on with the shizzo. So we can all try to go to bed. Well, it's gonna be after midnight either way. All right. Everybody's gonna have to click OK because I'm recording here in a second. Everybody good? Nobody has to go to the bathroom or anything, especially you, Doc. You good? Okay. All right. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Welcome back, everybody, to the Third Generation Wrestling Podcast. 3GW in the building. SummerSlam night, post SummerSlam show. The host, the Real Big E, Rob the Ambassador. How you feeling, man?
I'm feeling good, man. Always excited for these big shows. SummerSlam being one of the big four. Some people would say it's one of the big two. And this is the first big show of the now Triple H creative era.
The Triple H era, yes, sir. Doc Stevens in the building.
Yo.
I'm good to have you on here tonight. What's going on?
Put the kids to bed.
Yes.
Some of the adults too might want to go to bed.
Right.
Oh shit! And for the first time, I'm so glad this is groundbreaking moment right here. We got Marlo from our good friend MJ Book, Buzzing with Marlo from the Buzzing with Marlo podcast. Marlo, how's it going, man? I'm so glad to have you on.
Hey man, I greatly appreciate it, man. I greatly appreciate it. I gotta say this, man. MJ's looking down, and I'm pretty sure he was impressed with this. Like, literally, I know he's been since I've known Book, like, he would always talk about y'all, and he was like, I'm a different character when he's over here with y'all, where he was with me. And he would always try to talk me into coming in, and I was just like, it was just the timing was a lot different. Mm-hmm. So I'm really glad that I could come on here today for sure. We miss your Book. Like, hey, I'm finally on, bro. I'm finally on.
Yeah. Seriously, man. Like, I used to always say, like, the whole, like, this part of this equipment I got is his. You know, Rob was kind enough to bring it to me, and I, this was his thing, and I always appreciated him for, elevating the show, and
yeah.
In so many different ways, beyond his personality, from the equipment standpoint.
I was jealous of his man cave. I will say that.
Yeah,
his bat cave.
Every episode, every time we had on, I'm sorry, but I gotta say this. So every episode that I would do with him, like, we would be done recording for the next 3 hours. We're still sitting on talking, like. And you know how Book is. Book has got to show you everything that's in his room. He has got to show it. So if you're talking about, say, like, an example, we knew he loved Batman. So he would show me every Batman poster, every possible thing. Like, Book had to prove, like, he is the only one that's got these things. And then when we would talk about, like, it would go from me talking about Batman to wrestling. Oh, my God. And when we talked about wrestling, that was it. I'm telling you right now, if you're watching this, you do not have enough collection as book because he will prove to you you don't have it. The
Nope.
titles, everything. Like,
Oh
you
my
can't
God!
beat
I
him.
don't even talk about the belts.
Crazy amount
I
of
showed him
belts.
my actual championship, and then this dude had the nerve to show me his Undertaker championship, and I'm just like,
Yep.
I'm like, this is my actual worn title and stuff. Like, literally, this is mine. He's like, well, I got Undertaker's belt. You don't have that one.
Yep. I did one episode of his show in his apartment, and I recorded a couple of videos just because I was just amazed at like finally seeing it all laid out. I mean, he had it nice and neat.
Oh my gosh.
And it got to the point that he put the belt in a trophy case, like
Yeah.
in a museum. Like it was crazy. Yeah, definitely. This is we can definitely. I mean, I dedicate almost every show to Book, so why not? Definitely can dedicate this one to him. Yeah. So SummerSlam taking place from Nashville, Tennessee, at the Nissan Stadium, Tennessee Titans Stadium. Like I said, my brother's favorite football team. Coming in, we all knew that this was the end of one era and the beginning of a new era. Vince McMahon, exit stage left. Hey, Hunter, how you doing? You back? You doing creative again? Cool. And everybody wanted to know, like, what the shift was how's it gonna look? The new landscape of WWE, but now no longer under Vincent Kennedy McMahon for the first time in
Ever.
40 years. So kicked off here with, as you can see, Bianca Belair versus Becky Lynch for the Raw Women's Championship. And I kind of figured this will start the show. They want to start the show hot. They want to get people into the show. The match itself, I was concerned in the beginning because I thought it started really slow. Becky working Bianca's arm. I was like, I don't really want to watch a body part angle match to start the show. Okay, y'all feud is intense. This is supposed to be the climax. We're not working a body part here. They did eventually kind of get away from that. Bianca did sell it, I guess you could say, but eventually they just kind of had a match, and that turned out to be for the better. The KOD on the outside was nuts. Just everything in this match. This was probably their shortest match. No, it's not. As soon as I said
you got about just last year, last SummerSlam.
It was shorter than the WrestleMania match. And I don't think it was as good, but I do think it was still great when you look at it and see how far women's wrestling has come. I like, the crowd was really into the match. The whole story was Becky working the arm and trying to get disarm her on Bianca. And man, that final KOD that she put on her was intense and as hard as she could, and that was great. I guess there's reasons why I'm giving this grade, because I felt like the WrestleMania match was an instant classic, which is the highest grade we can give on here. But I thought this was superb. I thought this was a great way to start the show. I thought the match delivered. In the end, it delivered. And I'm talking without the post match, which we're going to talk about after everybody gives their grades. But for me, the right person won. I did like the respect afterwards. It kind of told the story a little bit. Superb for me. Rob, what'd you think?
I went superb as well, but it just made it in there. Like you said, it started off slow and I was a little worried, but it did pick up. And then these women had the match that I thought that they would have. I like the ending. I like Becky showing her respect because now we know this feud is over. Okay. Bianca is the better woman, and Becky, I guess she's going to be a face now, I guess.
Yeah. Looks like it.
Yeah, and without saying too much more, and because we'll get to the post match, I just thought that was a good way. These ladies had a great match, but I thought it was also a good way to let us all know that, okay, we're moving on from this. This feud is over. But superb for me. Just got in there.
Okay, Doc.
I like it. Had it like you said. It started slow. I hated Bianca's outfit. I did like the moonsault backflip. I don't know. I love it.
I hate your outfit right now.
It's okay.
Oh, come on.
It's my old school Baron Corbin. I like I don't know how to off the little stutter that Becky gave Bianca off the turnbuckle.
Oh yeah,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty dope. I gave it a pay-per-view worthy.
Okay. Okay, Marlo.
Ooh, all right. Well, I actually liked it. Honestly, I do like the fact that they kind of did start slow. It's kind of showing that, hey, Bianca can kind of work and give that demographic, like how y'all say her finisher is that KOD, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So what's the number one thing that you need to take out in the match to start off to get her to eliminate that part?
The arm, yeah.
The arm. So the arm part, I will say Bianca took a while to sell the arm, which that's why that slow pace that y'all are saying that y'all don't like, because it didn't have a meaning for her. Because if she's not selling the arm, what's the purpose of Becky holding the arm? Now, with her doing that finisher disarmer, which I like it too, because you're trying to aim for that, because if you're showing, hey, if I hit her in this is it. That's a game. The game's over. And at least I could see that they're trying to portray, hey, finishers freaking matter again. Like, we're not going to do 40, 50 finishers in a match.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that later.
Yeah, I know. But this match right here, I will say I will go with superb, because the only reason why it did not go as well as the WrestleMania match is because it was like a Kofi Kingston moment. Like, everyone was behind Bianca. It was a very climatic ending from the failure of Bianca having that other SummerSlam match, which everybody proved that they wanted their point proven, like, you better not do this ever again. Like, that was a complete, like, and I'm shocked that I did say superb, because I honestly was saying Bianca is probably the female Ultimate Warrior, but she has proven to me she is actually starting to portray and carry this brand that could be on her back now. So I'm gonna go with superb. I actually like it. I've watched Bianca in the NXT, and the stuff that I would see her doing, I'm just like, she's good, she's athletic, she has no ring psychology whatsoever, and she was very careless. And those were the big things that I always looked at. And then when I kept watching her in the main roster, I was just like, dang, they really are bouncing her up way more than they did in the NXT. And I'm like, I don't know if this is Vince's idea or that's somebody's like, hey, if we're giving you Bianca, you're going to push her to the moon. And I mean, she's definitely delivering now. And I like the fact that the ending showed Becky showing a different face, because now I don't know if we're allowed to talk about it, but the alternate ending at that time, that kind of makes the sense for it as well, because now Becky's not the head woman anymore. That's kind of like now Bianca's standpoint. Now, maybe it could be a storyline where Becky could probably pull a KO and be like, hey, if I can't beat them, join them. And then in that second, boom, find another way, which a lot of fans might get mad about. So obviously I think Becky's probably going to be a babyface because everybody worships the man. So I give it superb. I definitely liked it.
Yeah, I think you hit on something there. But I think that more importantly that this is the Becky and Bianca feud is going to be another top tier feud that we talk about years from now. Yeah, I don't think they're done. You know, these two obviously have great chemistry. You look at the Randy Orton and John Cena feuds. You look at, like Paul Heyman said, Austin Rock, Macho Man Hogan. You know,
Becky's got another dance partner, and that's saying a lot, because usually, as much as we love the person that came back, well, I know y'all want to talk about that one. you would only compare Becky and Charlotte at that time. And same thing with Bianca. You would compare only Sasha and Bianca. Now Bianca's got another person on her coattail. Now it's like, hey, she's got another chapter. Like this can be another great classic chapter in the archives in the long run. So, I mean, it was good.
Yeah, definitely. All right. No need to waste any more time. So we got the return. So Bianca celebrating. We start to hear the music. I'm like,
cheers for him on this one.
That sounds familiar. Who? Oh shit, that's Bailey. Bailey comes out. Dope outfit, by the way. I love those pants. I don't know what she got. I want those.
The hair
came out. And she stands in the middle of the rampway, which I hate when WWE sets the ramp up this way with that curve because it's like you can't see everything. It's so dumb. I'd be pissed if I went to a show and it was set up like that and I'm on the floor because you can't see. Anyway, she comes out, huge pop. Fans go nuts. I'm going nuts. I popped at home. I'm losing my shit because I just knew she was going to be on this show. I predicted on a different match, but I figured she'd be on this show. Then another familiar music hits, and I'm like, wait a minute. Didn't they let you go?
Right.
Dakota Kai comes
wasn't
out.
Wasn't Tony about to sign you?
Right.
Dakota Kai comes out. I'm like, okay, all right. Okay, well, okay, whatever. I mean, if you're NXT hardcore, like probably everybody here is, then you know who she is. But if you're not, you're like, I don't know who this chick is, but okay, she was Bailey, whatever. And then Rob, I know you hit the floor with this. Io Shirai.
I was happy to see both of those ladies. I was happy to see them both.
Yeah. And all I could think was just to
Io finally got it. She finally got it.
This is all Hunter. Thank you. Thank you. For doing these things, right?
The emotion part, I think you gotta love that part because Io tried to stay in character, but you could just tell that is what she's been begging for.
Oh yeah, they reacted to her. They knew who she was.
Yes.
Oh yeah, the genius of the sky.
And it was just like, okay, this works. Okay, you're building a strong women's faction led by one of the strongest heels in the company. Makes sense. Okay, we need this. We need this right now to make storylines outside of the title because that's what's missing in all of women's wrestling. AEW too. They don't have storylines for the women outside the titles, and that's a huge mistake. You got to have both. So if this is what Marlo was talking about was all three of them came to the ring and they was approaching Bianca. And then Becky came back in and kind of was 2-on-3. So then the heels did the heel thing and backed off. But I thought this was great. If you're NXT, if you're an NXT fan, the black and gold, the OG NXT, and you were very happy with what you saw tonight. Yeah. So kudos. That's all I can say.
No doubt.
Definitely.
No rainbow era here, I guess.
No. We tried. We tried. No, the best thing about NXT 2.0 is Mandy Rose, period. In the story.
Here you go.
Well, Braun Breaker's there.
Bruh, Braun Breaker.
Like I said, the best part of NXT 2.0 is Mandy Rose.
Nah, I'll go Braun, but I like what they've done with Mandy. I'd like to see her back on the main roster.
I'm sure.
I say give her a little bit more time. She needs a little bit more time.
That's fair.
Just kind of ironing out. She's already a way better character though, and her in-ring is way better. But yeah, I agree. Don't rush her back, but eventually, yes, she should come back. All right. After that,
I mean, y'all thought Charlotte was going to come out as well.
I was hoping. I was
sitting there, I was like,
hoping.
Charlotte's about to come as a baby face. Because that could actually be kind of like the 4 horsewoman woman. Or which would even been crazier, Sasha would have came out, which I don't think that was going to happen yet.
No.
Yeah, not yet. I mean, if Triple H
I think it's already in works. I think it's already been planned out that they're already back, but
they are
I think
trying to
Vince
woo them back.
Yeah, I think with Vince leaving, I think it's a lot more likely we'll see both of them back sometime soon.
Well, Sasha was about to do a movie regardless. I do know that.
The crazy part is Naomi was about to be in the title picture. She was getting a title shot at that very pay-per-view.
The only thing I could say on that one, I know we're talking about SummerSlam, and I'll make this very short. The only thing I could think is Naomi was not probably upset about that. I think it was if Sasha left, there's nothing for her. Like literally, they still got to tell this story. Hey, how did y'all split? Type scenario. So what happens with a tag team? If one leaves, guess what? That means the other one's off the screen as well. Especially as them as champs, you can't do it as just one formation to that. So, I mean, that's where I can go with that. Because I mean, honestly, I don't think she really could have been upset with anything. I mean, her husband is headlining SmackDown every freaking weekend, even after what he done. I mean, still, it's like.
I thought about that earlier. I thought all these sidebars. I know I don't really care. I thought about that when the Usos had their match. I was like, all this shit this man done, and he just ain't never been punished. He just keeps rolling.
Oh,
and now
Roman was in that planning booth because honestly, they know what that main thing that they're trying to get her over, and until that authorization is ready for it, that's when you know the plug's going to get pulled on them. Because they've got this one set storyline, and I'm pretty sure it's not gonna get messed up, regardless of what happens. That's the sad part to that scenario, which I'm upset with, and I'm like, all right, the storyline does need to be that approach because I mean they're trying to get the reaction of the fans that they've needed for so long. Like WWE is. In that area, like they can mess up, but they need to really get their stuff back together.
Yeah, I mean, this is the time to do it. Triple H in charge, and I actually think that this acquisition of Logan Paul, people are split on the guy. A lot of people don't like him personally. Things that
you can't boo him when he's facing Miz.
Things he's said and done in real life.
Oh yeah.
But as a wrestler, signed to WWE, I ain't got nothing but positive to say about this dude. He is great. He's not perfect, but he's great. He's one of the very few people that could come in, not have to go through NXT. I know what the hard camera is. I know how to address the crowd. I know how to emote in the ring. I'm not scared, nervous. I don't show any of that.
He was nervous.
Don't have nervous. Well, his movesets don't have hesitation, so to speak, but he does need to work on the execution part sometimes.
Yes.
They're like the standing moonsault he did in the ring. That took too long. I noticed that. But I got, just a second match on TV. So I'm not gonna hang him for that. Miz coming out with Ciampa and Maurice, of course. It's Maurice Doc, not Maurice.
Who was looking very good tonight, by the way.
She always looks good.
Man, I know this is kind of weird, but what about Mrs. Gear, bro? I love the little quotes that he had on his like tights and stuff. Like he's never came out to something like that. Like
I thought it was different.
I was really curious when they first showed that shirt. I'm like, so how many fans are sitting there wearing those? I have big balls on their daggum chest right now.
I am so sick every Monday night of hearing about the Miz's balls. Can we let it go, please?
Let it go.
It
is. They got
it on a t-shirt. I don't need that on my TV every Monday night.
It's beyond childish. And this is coming from somebody that does pardon preacher videos as a hobby. That's way more childish. I'm sorry. I did like
Maurice stuttering about it. That was the classic part though. She couldn't say genitalia.
Yeah, your wife should be your ball's biggest fan, but she was all hesitant about it.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't know if my kids need to hear this.
Surprisingly, I actually think Ciampa is working in this role that he's in. I can't believe I'm saying that. Like I never thought he would, but he is. And So the Miz and Logan Paul having this match, I thought it was a really good match, so to speak. And they kind of get to a dead spot, and then Ciampa keeps interfering, and ref throws him out. He refused to leave ringside, goes to get a chair. He thinks he's going to attack them. He says, no, I'm just going to take a seat. I ain't going nowhere. I'm chilling. And then AJ Styles music hits, and he comes out, attacks Ciampa. So I guess that's going to be the next feud with those two. I was actually hoping that we would get Seth Rollins and AJ Styles on this card tonight, but nah, didn't happen. At the end of the day, I like how it ended. It kind of got rushed a little bit after that happened because Maurice got on the ring apron and she was breaking up the fall. Man, and Logan Paul, this is what I'm talking about. That frog splash from the turnbuckle through the announce table, picture perfect. Just because when they showed it back in slow-mo and I saw how he tucked his knees and he got all kind of elevation. That's impressive. I'm sorry, but it is. Just had to go back as I forgot about that. But beats the Miz with the Skull Crusher finale, and deservedly so. I don't know. I think a lot of what happened tonight was to kind of help sway the crowd to be in Logan Paul's favor, because as Rob talked about, guys getting booed everywhere he goes, so they have to really put in the extra effort to make him a babyface. But I think eventually, if they're smart, they'll turn him heel as somebody else turned heel tonight, which Rob predicted as well. So, for me, this was pay-per-view worthy. I thought this was really entertaining. I enjoyed this match a lot, and a lot of it was Logan Paul. I could not stop watching the guy. The guy is really, really immensely talented. I can't knock him. And Miz, Miz is, I give Miz a lot of shit, but at the end of the day, he's still he'll be in the Hall of Fame. He's the Miz. He's a name, but Logan Paul made this match. I'm sorry he did, but pay-per-view worthy for me. Marlo, what did you think?
All right, man. When I did the top greatest heels with our good buddy MJ Book, I ranked Miz in the top 3 because honestly, man, he made Bad Bunny look like a WWE superstar, and I've seen the dude in a training facility, and he did not even look like he belonged. So I knew for a fact if you want some, and I've sat there and said this, Miz knows how to make natural heat anywhere. Even with him having a reality show, people knowing how he is really outside of a camera, you still are going to boo this man because it's the Miz. I'm going to say it's a pay-per-view worthy match. It's not a superb or instant classic or anything like that, but it's a good quality match. Like Logan Paul prove once again that he belongs. Like I've said it, I've gotten so much heat, which a lot of people like to hear my credibility about wrestling stuff. But when I sat there and said Logan Paul is what fits perfect for a WWE superstar, people lost their minds. I had people that I've wrestled with look at me and go, so you telling us that he's better than us? I said, honestly, yes. The reason why, he knows how to control a crowd. He knows how to get viewership on him. He knows how to brand himself. And I sat there and said, he will be one of the top draws in WWE. Completely. Heel or face, he will be a top draw. Now, the biggest thing I want to test on this, I want to see how is Logan going to deal when he has to lose that one match. That is how that's going to be the demographic to be like, okay, this is what we got. Because we look at it as all these wrestlers that we get from the celebrity pack. And I always was curious. I was like, if Bad Bunny signs a contract, he knows he has to lose a match. So obviously he's not going to sign a contract because he looks phenomenal from that one match at WrestleMania. So I'm going to give it a pay-per-view worthy match just because I'm a big Miz fan. I'm glad AJ got to be in the thing. I think this is going to build up between those two being in a tag team match. Logan Paul, AJ Styles, which I'm literally saying that out loud now. Logan Paul and AJ Styles tagging against Miz and Ciampa. And Uncle H is there. Ciampa is going to be safe, guys. It's nothing to worry about.
Yep.
That is Triple H's guy.
Oh yeah.
Like,
locked
and
down.
I'm telling y'all right now, don't be shocked if Johnny Gargano signs a contract with WWE pretty soon.
I'm hoping. I am hoping.
Yeah, we all
With
hope.
Uncle Triple H there,
Yep.
it's going to happen. All these NXT guys, like even when I know I'm getting off topic again, even when Triple H agreed that he was signing on, Adam Cole wanted to make an acknowledgement back.
Yeah.
Because he knows Triple H has a relationship with all these guys, like how a college coach has with his athletes. Like Triple H does not have a bad resume when it comes to training or being that guy.
Not to cut you off, but the biggest name that people are saying now that Triple H is in charge of creative is Karrion Kross or Killer Kross.
Absolutely. Oh, that's going to be a guarantee.
That he is like, now I'm ready to come back because now I'm not wearing that goofy ass shit. I'm gonna have Scarlett.
You see, I don't ever really downgrade what Vince says because I mean Vince has been doing it for so long now, and I mean we could sit here and say what Vince has done wrong, what's he doing, but guess what? When you look at YouTube views, he's over 1.8 million views every single one, regardless if it's good or bad. Mm-hmm. Vince is seeing as, hey, I'm making exposure, I'm making money regardless. So with this part, and I knew he struck out when he did with Keith Lee and Karrion Kross. Like those were the two guys I think he should have never got rid of.
Oh yeah.
So I got to give this a pay-per-view worthy match. Sorry I went a little longer.
No, you good. You good.
Oh man, no worries, no worries.
Doc, I know you got cut off. You had some Peacock issues, which we've all had, but based on what you saw, is it enough to grade it?
Yeah. First, I want to make it clear I wasn't a Miz fan for a long time. Miz just grew on me maybe this year, and
that took a while.
I didn't think Logan Paul was going to. Well, his first match when he was a tag team, he was pretty decent, but you could tell he did the work while he wasn't there. So he looked good from what I've seen. I mean, you guys make it sound so well. Marlo make it sound so good, but off of what I've seen, hold on, I'm trying to pull my grades back up.
Bro, I've been doing this too long, man.
I give it TV quality from what I've seen. Just from what I've seen.
I forgot you didn't see the whole match. Okay.
Just from what I've seen. But he can go. From what I've seen, Logan Paul definitely. Him and AJ will be dope together, though. I do agree. Him and AJ definitely put on the show.
The only thing I hate about that is putting AJ back in the tag team. AJ is just.
I was just going to mention that.
Yeah.
See, I made a comment about this before on a podcast because everybody's like, oh, they're killing AJ. I said, dude, AJ is at home because he's got kids that are in high school, about to graduate. Like, AJ is not that young guy anymore. Like, AJ is making hell of money now, just working X amount of shows, and he's still on house shows and stuff. Like, AJ's he's not mad. If he was mad, he wouldn't have signed that 5-year and like
no. Yeah. That's not the case. It's just me
that's a
wanting to see him.
I hate the fact that he is in a tag team, man, because I tell you right now, AJ is the only reason why I started watching TNA. Period. I watched AJ when they did the match in the Independence when him and it was Tyler Black, I think. Tyler Black. It was
Seth Rollins was Tyler Black, yeah.
And it was in Georgia, and they just tore the house down. Tore it down.
That's why I wanted them to wrestle tonight.
I was just like, and I had a feeling I was looking at it like that too, but I was sitting there, I was like, man, it had to be Gargano. It had to be Gargano because I sat there and watched him doing the little training videos and all that. And I'm like, he did say he's taking bookings in the summer. So, and I was like, damn it. I was kind of mad about that one. But I mean, that shows respect to Riddle because now Riddle has his opportunity to come back again and try to stay in that praise of what he is. But yeah, man, Logan Paul, I think the kids might like him just because he's a Pokemon fan. So I don't know. Right. Hey, man, you got to think, man. I don't know. Now the changing of the ratings now is so I don't know if the kid demographic is going to be I'm curious how that's gonna go.
Yeah, I don't know either. Rob, what did you think of this match?
Man, I went pay-per-view quality. I am not a Logan Paul fan. I mean, I don't really follow him on YouTube or anything. But what I will say about dude is that whether he's boxing Floyd Mayweather or he's in a WWE ring, the dude, he's obviously doing some training, and he's obviously in the gym. He's obviously doing the work. And I respect anybody who comes to WWE to work. The only thing about the match, it was predictable. Whenever Miz, for the most part, I mean, 99% of the time when he's in these matches, he's there to lose to these celebrities. I think Logan Paul does have some work to do to get over with the crowd. But you know what? I think tonight was a good start because I feel like he got a better response at the end of the match than he was getting at the beginning of the match. So that's a good sign. That means people respected the work he did and that they're coming around to him. So if he keeps doing that, I think dude definitely has a future. I was kind of, when I heard they had signed him to like a long-term thing, I was kind of like, what? But I think they might be on to something. So I'm looking forward to seeing more. But tonight I go pay-per-view quality, and I was impressed with Logan Paul.
Hey, he could sell. He could definitely sell. He was selling the hell out of these moves.
He was. I mean, literally, if you didn't know that Logan Paul was who Logan Paul was, and you would just turn on a wrestling match, you wouldn't know the difference. That's
Dude
how
looks
good
like-
a job he did.
He looks like he's been doing it for a while. I don't know what kind of training he's had and how he got prepared for these matches he's done in WWE, but he looks like he's been doing it for a while. I
don't want to be a buzzkill. He's been training for over a year.
Well, see, for a year though, that's
not a buzzkill.
That's impressive. I mean,
I try to kind of stay like let everybody like, oh, you know, it looks like he's done it. I'm just like, I want to.
No, but
No,
I mean,
break that down, you know.
We want to know the real.
I want to do my MJ book moment, you know, like it's got to be a one-up moment every single time, but like literally, like he's like when people first saw him come in and you didn't know what to think of him. Like everybody hated him. Like Triple H hated him when he first walked it through the door, just because the Floyd Mayweather, like Triple H is a huge Floyd Mayweather fight. He loves him. And he was like, looked at him. And I remember somebody was telling me, it's like, he looked at him as like, that match was a fluke. You didn't prove nothing.
It was a
and Logan just took that personal. Like Logan's been taking it all. Like I tell this, like regardless of what this man's done, this dude went through hell and back. Not only is he just proven that he's not a YouTuber, this motherfucker has literally put in the work, proven to people, hey, he might not have wrestled on the indies or all this other stuff, but he is still putting in that damn work. And Logan's gonna be one of those longevity guys. If he can keep it up and stuff and play it smart and just keep wanting to learn, he could have a longevity in this completely.
I've enjoyed his work. I enjoyed that WrestleMania match. The fact that he was not afraid to do the Eddie Guerrero stuff.
Oh my gosh,
says a lot.
He had me pissed
that crowd could have ate him alive for that shit. But he was not afraid to do it. Like, man, kudos to you.
Think of it this way: if he worked heel, say like in the areas like of the main legendaries, say like if he worked in Toronto and he just started imitating Bret Hart or Owen or something like that, how much heat do you think somebody could just pick up from that easily? Like that'd be that old school type heel mentality that you don't ever see anymore. Like I still say, you know, MJF and Miz are like the only ones that are close to getting heat like ever like that. So could be one of the newer big time guys. At one point in time,
Ciampa was getting heat like that though.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I wish they didn't change him. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. But I think this guy right here, that's the right guy. Theory.
That's my dog.
He may not be one. Well, you know what? He's a good heel because he gets under your skin. He's like a gnat, more of a gnat kind of heel. He's just annoying. It's like, would you go away? But not quite Baron Corbin go away, or X-Pac heat, as people like to say. It's just like, I believe in you. And Rob has said this, like you could be, he could be the next great heel, and I think he could be. I think if treated and booked correctly, he could definitely be a great superstar one day. The one thing I will say, especially after tonight, this is the second match these two have had, him and Lashley. They have great chemistry. I thought the first match was a little bit better.
Yeah.
Because this one was, I feel like this one had like a time constraint, and that's why it didn't go as long. But the crowd, 1,000% behind Bobby. Bobby is making a great baby face. People are chanting his name. They're doing the fist pumping with him. It's great. These two have, for what it's worth, their matches are hard hitting, and they just hit the move. They just start hitting each other right off the bat. And I love that this match had that old school, the no and the yeah with the punches. Like, I love that because it gets the crowd involved. You feel like you're part of the show. In the end, I like that, you're just not going to overpower Bobby. You're just not. And he counters him into the hurt lock, and being the heel, he immediately taps, and it was great. But honestly, I'm impressed with Austin Theory. I mean, the thing that I said at the beginning of the year, if Theory can nail storytelling in the ring, that's the only thing he's missing. He can work the mic, he can wrestle. He has shown that. But if he can work on his storytelling, and literally right after I said that, he did. And the guy, he's going to be next in line. I thought everything that happened tonight was the right moves.
I'm mad about it.
Regarding him was the right move. With this match, though, it's a low, but it's there. I still enjoyed it. It was a pay-per-view worthy match to me. Bobby obviously was going to win. He's not going to lose. That they put the title on him to elevate it. You look at his entrance, got the pyro and everything. Like, that's elevating the guy. He's a big deal. Okay, that's elevating the U.S. title. And I said this on the kickoff. You have got to get the Intercontinental Championship on these pay-per-views. You cannot keep not having it on here. It's a crime. I love what y'all doing with the U.S. title.
You've got a good Intercontinental. I didn't mean to cut you off, but you've got a good Intercontinental.
You do.
champion now.
Who the hell is Intercontinental champion?
Gunter.
Who?
Walter.
Remember Walter? He was Walter, and now he's Gunter.
Well, listen, they don't show it enough. That's I'm like, who the?
Exactly. So
he's on SmackDown every week.
That's kind of my point. Is
I think that's what they're kind of like trying to show it as, like it's just a SmackDown title.
Oh,
he needs to be on the pay-per-view. The Intercontinental Championship.
I agree with you. I 100% agree with you on that. Like,
it's a crime. Okay.
I mean, Intercontinental title's been out there longer than the U.S. title.
Longer than U.S. and it is a WWE.
It's a prestige, yeah.
Yeah, the U.S. title came from WCW.
I think he'll be on Clash at the Castle because of the location.
No doubt.
I think they'll make sure he's on that card.
You got to make it believable.
It's close to his area too, so no doubt on that.
Yeah, but don't have him fight somebody like.
I'll be Nakamura.
I would love to see him and Joe Coffey one more time.
See him and who?
If they actually give them a good time limit on it, oh my goodness.
Him and Joe. See, I guess you don't watch UK NXT, but me and Rob and
I watch it.
Oh man,
Joe Coffey is great. I love Joe Coffey. I love the Gallus, all that stuff. I love that faction. So I would love to see them go at it one more time. NXT UK is a whole other monster.
Dragunov is my guy. I
tell you, man,
Dragunov, man.
Walter and Dragunov.
No, that was great.
That match is one of the best matches I've seen. I mean, in the past. Yeah, ever, but definitely in the past 5 years.
Both their chests look exactly like this logo.
Right, man. Yeah, exactly.
Straight up. But yeah, for me, lowest of the low, but pay-per-view worthy still. I thought, if it was longer, it probably would I'd just say pay-per-view worthy, but I still think, it still got there for me. But Rob, what'd you think?
Yeah, I went TV quality. I wish it would have been a little bit longer. And like you said, there's chemistry between these two. They're enjoyable to watch together. I had no problem with Theory losing to Bobby, tapping out. I thought he would lose. I predicted he would lose. And I don't think it hurts Theory at all. I really like what they're doing with Theory. I know we've had a lot of talk on this show about WWE not building new stars, but Theory is one new star I think that they have done absolutely right. And I think he's good in the role. He's a young guy. I think he's just in his 20s.
He's only 24.
Yeah, man. So
24?
that guy, he's young. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying, man. 24 years old and already doing what he's doing. You know, look, man, he's got the look. He delivers the promos. He's a great heel. I could also see him in the future as a face. I think they've got something really good going with Theory. I thought it was great tonight that he came down and teased with the cash in, but didn't actually cash in.
He did get knocked upside his head.
Well, yeah, but that's okay. But you expected that. I expected that, you know. But just back to the match. These guys are capable of better. And like you said, they may have been a victim of time constraints. So they had to cut it short. But because of that, I could only go TV quality because that, to me, that's all the match deserved. If it would have gone longer and they could have told more of a story, it could have been higher. But for me, TV quality.
Okay. Doc, I know you didn't see the match, but I don't know if you want to say anything. No, okay.
Yeah,
Marlo, what'd you think?
All right, man. So I gotta say this out first. So it was a little kid. He was like not even 18 years old, coming out of Albany, Georgia. He was in, I think, around my 4th year in wrestling. And they were like, hey, this guy right here is going to be a future star. And who would have thought this little dude right here? I mean, he was humble. He knew what he was doing. He told everybody he was going to go to a big deal. That I'm talking about this guy named Austin Towers. Austin Towers wrestled on the Indies for a good solid 2 years and gets signed his first tryout to WWE as Austin Theory. Austin Theory worked as a hell of a babyface for the longest time. So when they put him as a heel, I did not know how this was going to go because this dude was a diehard John Cena fan. Like, he lived the John Cena persona. And I will tell you this right now. It hurts me to say that I got to lower this match just because of the time restraint. And I think the whole show is based off of you got to give the last man standing match the most time out of all of it.
Oh, yes.
So that was my worry too. And obviously the big question is he going to be involved into the main event? So I knew this wasn't going to be a long match. I'm a little different on Bobby Lashley moves. I think he needs to change his finisher. I think it needs to go back to the Dominator. It's an easy spot.
I agree.
I like that. It's an
totally
easy.
Agree.
It doesn't hurt nobody. A hurt lock, it's just a hit or miss because it's been done so long. I get it because he's a bigger dude. It could prove like, hey, he could just knock him out and it knocks him out. And I get it. It's a good big man story. But I love the Dominator more than anything.
Yes.
But I got to go
point.
with pay-per-view worthy. It was pay-per-view worthy just because I can't doubt my boy Austin Theory. Like, I'm so freaking proud of this dude. Like, he represents all of Georgia in wrestling. Like, definitely shout out to AR Fox because I know he was smiling with this tonight.
Yeah, I like what you said. With the hurt lock though, the one thing that gives
Dominator just looks so much more his character. If you're saying the Almighty, like,
yeah, the Dominator is better.
Slamming them, come on.
Yeah, the Dominator is better. I agree. But the thing that even tonight, especially, that sold me on the hurt lock was as soon as he got Theory in it, the crowd stood up and they knew it was over. So once you get your finisher to that level where the crowd knows it's in, it's over, I can't argue with that. Because that's the whole point, is to get the move over. And once that move is over, you're golden. So yeah,
I agree with you.
Everybody with it.
I like that.
Yeah,
and
the hurt lock.
People usually don't pop
for
finishers like that. People don't usually pop for submissions. Usually people. No. I mean, if we want to go in the attitude area, you got mad if someone won by a submission. Like, you just like it finished like that. Especially if you're at the crowd, like, you're looking at it as like, really, that, like, for that moment, like how you just said, that just shows that Bobby has changed everything that he had in the past, and he is ready to take that ball again.
Mm-hmm.
And the babyface look right now, couldn't be any better right now.
Go ahead, Doc.
Wait, did everybody talk about the match already?
Yeah, I threw it to you. You just sat there and looked at me like
I
y'all
didn't see, I didn't see the match.
I know. I said, God damn it.
Listen, wait, did everybody grade for this match though?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to go back. So what the hell is this with Mace and Menzor, Lord Dinosaur?
Oh, Mansoor.
What the hell is this pure life water? What is this? What
Okay.
is this?
That is the.
Apparently, it might be bringing Rico back. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my God.
Well, here's the interesting
give
thing
them
about
ideas.
that storyline. The only interesting thing about that storyline is that Max Dupree, aka LA Knight,
It's coming back.
Yeah, originally brought these guys back, but then was released while Vince was head of creative. Oddly enough, when Vince leaves and Triple H comes back, and let me go back, they brought in Maxine Dupree. She was originally going to just take over these guys. Max Dupree was just going to go away. Triple H comes back, and well, what do you know? Max Dupree, aka LA Knight, is back. So I don't know exactly what that means. I'd like to see them get LA Knight back to being LA Knight. Right now, he's still Max Dupree, managing Mansoor and Massey and titillating the juices of all of our guilty pleasures.
Oh, it's Massey.
No, the sad thing is, man,
it's not Mace, it's Massey.
LA Knight, he got the EC3 treatment, basically.
Well, no, I guess I think
he didn't.
EC3
Vince did
worse.
not like anybody that came from Impact other than AJ Styles. Like, he did not care for him. Like, look at Bobby Roode.
Oh, that was the depth. We've talked about that so many times. How wrong
I'm telling you, man.
did Bobby Roode.
I've
Bobby
said
Roode
was Triple H
heavyweight championship material.
Everything.
He was.
Bobby Roode was literally the modern day Triple H to me.
Yes. 1,000% agree. Yes.
That TNA era, like, I looked at it, I was like, that's Triple H's child. Like, what in the world? Like, this is
they could even gone.
of him.
You got the name. I mean, why not do the Rick Rude route? I mean, why not? But
yeah,
we got to keep going. Oh boy.
He said this shit.
The Mysterios versus Judgment Day, and I had a feeling. I mean, we've all kind of known that those video packages was Edge. I mean, once you, even from the very first one, once I saw the Latino Heat license plate, I kind of figured it was Edge. But then, and I figured that's all they would do. And then every week, put out another one, more clues. Like if you watch wrestling in the last 15 years, you know who this guy is, and then they reveal more and more of him in the shadows. Okay. Anyway, the match happened. It happened. It started. They wrestled. People got in the ring, if you want to say that. Yeah.
He said people wrestled.
People got in the ring. They came out, had entrances, and they did the thing. Rhea Ripley accompanied Judgment Day. Let me just say this thing. I think Judgment Day is not a bad thing. I actually think Damian Priest has benefited the most from this faction. I think he looks great. Everything about this fits him. But this presentation, the way this played out, I don't think this is Triple H's fault, because he just had no damn choice, because this ball was already rolling. He couldn't stop it. And if you know anything about MJ Book, he was one to call his shot beforehand. So, yep. This one gets the bullshit, because this was so telegraphed. The match didn't matter. Anything they did not matter. This was all about Edge coming back. And yes, it was cool to see Edge. He came out and did this whole thing, but this was the first time since he's been back that he, to me, looked old, because he could barely run down that aisle. He was running down that aisle, getting in that ring. It took him for fucking ever to get in there. And the Spears look good. I'll say that the Spears did look good, but it's just the match didn't matter. Okay, all this, and we knew it was Edge. It was so telegraphed. All this, we all knew was who was going to be. It's just WWE just so heavy-handedly playing their hand, and I thought the execution was poor. I did, and then yeah, he spears them. No, this a no, and then to make it a no DQ match on top of that. So now you're playing your hand even more. And Rob said it on the prediction show. He thinks, yeah, Edge's gonna come out, he's gonna spear it, and that's how the Mysterios are gonna win. And lo and behold, that's exactly what happened. Just yep. It's bullshit for me. Marlo, go ahead.
It hurts saying that, just knowing that was the Mysterios in the match. I mean, Ray out of all things. I like Dominic. I don't like the attire. I don't like it at all. It's
the mullet's weird.
The Power Ranger look just gotta stop. I can't.
The Power Ranger look.
I can't, man. Like, Ray comes out there half shirtless, and you're in a full suit, bro. You're only in your 20s.
Yeah, you should be in better shape than him.
Like, that part right there, and like how you just said, Edge took forever to get in the ramp. Like, Priest walked to him to get speared.
Yeah, it was.
No, he walked over to him to get the big boot. I mean,
yeah.
That part was hilarious.
Meet me halfway, brother. I can't run that fast.
Edge is like, I guarantee you have to get the good job, kid. It walked right over to him. So I gotta say this on Judgment Day, the most thing, and I gotta say it was good for Finn because Finn needed something. Finn needed something to get him back in a persona. Like, Finn, when you look at him, he's a babyface. And I've sat here and said it numerous times. Finn is a diehard babyface. But his attitude, his in-ring ability, he can be a heel. Like, he is a phenomenal heel. Like, I really wish they would have done like a Rick Rude persona with Finn, because Finn looks like he's never touched a card. Literally. Like, those things. But it hurts that, God, do I want to say it?
Come on. Dude, we keep it real around here. Feelings ain't got nothing to do.
You know what? Well, there you go. Bullshit. It hurts. It hurts saying anything with Ray. Any match with Ray or Finn, it hurts saying that.
I know. But the book was here. This is definitely what he would give.
I know, yeah. He would have called me out on it too. He's like, you gotta stop being that baby face for once. You're gonna be this fucking heel today.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, Rob, what'd you think?
All right. I am tempted. But I'm not gonna do that. I am gonna go with some bullshit though, because when we did our prediction show, I predicted the Judgment Day to win because I really wanted them to win. And I think that they needed the win. But I did say, if Edge comes back, that's only to help the Mysterios win. And that's exactly what happened. And the move, as you said, Big E, was so telegraphed. All of these vignettes. This moment with Edge would have been so much better if they hadn't have done that. Why do that? You basically told us, okay, we've got this big card coming up, SummerSlam, and we're booking this match with the Judgment Day against the Mysterios. And guess what? Edge is going to be coming back, and he's going to get involved in this match. It's a no DQ, so it will all be legal. They just told us everything that was going to happen, and that's exactly what happened. So I could have easily gone the GFY on this, but I'm going to give it some bullshit because I thought the work was okay. As far as the Judgment Day, I still like what they're doing, and I'm glad that they've given Finn Balor something to do, but I do think Damian Priest is the better mouthpiece. I think I think they should kind of let him be the leader. I think that they should let my girl Rhea do a little more talking. I'm glad she's back. I hope she's healthy. And eventually I'd like to see her get the solo run she deserves, but she's young. There's time for that. But yeah, man, this played out terribly. Completely telegraphed, no suspense. No, it was bad. So definitely some bullshit. everyone involved in this deserved better, and I hope that as this goes forward, they get better or do better, because this was poor.
Yeah. I don't know if you have any thoughts on the doc, or what happened.
Yeah. I don't know about you guys. I used to be an athlete, and it was already cheerleaders around. So for this one, I like to give me a G, give me an F, give me a Y.
Oh wow.
It was trash. You know what? Only thing, if I gave it some bullshit, it'll only be because Edge came back. Like, this is the only match on the card I didn't care about. So yeah.
No, and think about this. Like, think about if Edge wasn't involved. Like, if they put it off further down the road, like this would have easily been a match that nobody cared about.
Yeah. I actually wish Dominic could just turn on Ray. And
I was thinking
Exactly.
that would have happened. That's what I was thinking. That would maybe been a thing. Like, that would actually made this match decent.
You know you're doing bad when I care more about a Baron Corbin match.
Hey, Bear's a true heel, man.
He is.
You got it. You got it.
You know,
But
I enjoyed broke Corbin more than happy Corbin, but that's just me.
Yeah.
Poor Corbin was classic.
I was hyped for this.
I'm more excited with this match because of Pat McAfee being in it, because he's always this guy. We talked about Logan Paul earlier, working the crowd. This guy comes out and literally with it looks like with his hands, he's just conducting the crowd as he's coming out. It's just, they're moving with everything he's doing. I mean, he's not a regular performer. It's insane how much people love this guy. It's even more mind-boggling how much money he makes. But anyway,
he's a Colts player in a Tennessee area, and they're cheering him on. That was the crazy.
He was a Colt. Both of them were Colts.
Yeah, I like the story with that part.
That's real, and they actually touched on it. Yeah, smart for once. I actually had fun with this match. I thought I would, and I did. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. It was, and I gotta give it to commentary, because as much as I say I don't like Corey Graves, sometimes he is a step ahead and he is prepared for when things happen. It might have been Michael Cole that called it. I don't know, but slip and slide Clyde right here on the top rope.
But you know what, man?
But he still delivered the move.
Yes, that could have gone very badly, but to McAfee's credit, he saved it.
Yes, and the pull off a move.
I can vouch for that.
I did not ding him for that, because he's not a regular performer, and I'm pretty sure the top rope is slippery regardless of the humidity. And he's wearing Jordans, which was one of my concerns. Was like, you want to wrestle in Jordans? Yeah. Like, come on, man. People wear wrestling boots for a reason. But he still hit the move. Still hit the moonsault. He was determined to just keep coming off the top rope. I mean, just great. The only ding I have on McAfee, and this is just from not wrestling on a regular basis, he was so gassed.
Yeah.
He was mouth open, trying to get some air. You could tell.
You got to lay off the beer.
Like, oh, I'm ready for this to be over with. It's that I can't even call it a Canadian destroyer, because it was not. It was more of a sunset flip than anything. But he pins Baron Corbin. I'll give it TV quality, because if it ended a Raw, I would give him a high five and thumbs up and say, great job. It was not, shitty or anything like that, but I just didn't feel like it needed to be on here, so to speak. And we said this on the prediction show. They didn't tell this story right. The majority of the drama happened off camera, especially when they set it up when it first started. after Money in the Bank when Baron Corbin attacked McAfee, the show was over. Like, why wouldn't you show that? Or what they did, because I guess they depended on their social media, but it was like, you have to remember your casuals. But for me, it was TV quality. Rob, what did you think?
You know, man, I went pay-per-view worthy because I just thought it was entertaining. I think McAfee, we know he's good in the ring for whatever limited training he's had, he's good. But McAfee has the one thing that I think is the most important thing you need in wrestling. In a perfect world, your wrestling ability would be the most important thing, but it's charisma. You just have to have a way to engage the crowd. And McAfee just has a way of doing that. The crowd just likes him. I don't know what it is. He just has that it thing that you can't really put a finger on it. You don't know, you can't package it. You either have it or you don't. And he has it. In addition, he's good enough in the ring where he can put on a good match. Even that moment we talked about, he was on those ropes, man, and his legs were wobbling, and I didn't know if he was going to be able to carry that move off. But he did. He did. He saved it. And then I also thought the dynamic of Corey Graves versus Michael Cole, right? Michael Cole siding with McAfee, Graves siding with Corbin, and we saw Corbin kind of give Michael Cole some shit, kind of get a little physical with him. I thought all of that made it entertaining and kind of added to the match. So to me, that helped it to slip into pay-per-view worthy. I was surprised I enjoyed this match because I did not think I would enjoy it as much as I did, but I'm going pay-per-view worthy.
Real quick, shout out to Chester Franklin Jr. joining us in the chat.
What's up, Chester?
Then that's the question. Where does Brock go from here? We're going to talk about that in a little bit when we get to the match, because I think that's an interesting topic. Hopefully you stick around for that. But thank you for tuning in. We appreciate it. Marlo, what did you think of Corbin and McAfee?
I'll tell you this, I'm a little jealous because I've never been able to jump from the ground onto the actual top of the top rope. Like, I literally had to climb up to the top rope. And the closest I got was springboard off the middle. So I have always had respect from Pat McAfee when he literally leaps up. And I mean, he's not even at the turnbuckle. Like, he's literally a little bit of a far away, like, and leaps up and gets up there. And then to be able to suplex somebody, I will say this, and I think I agree with you on this. Pat McAfee, do not wrestle in tennis shoes no more. Definitely not basketball shoes. The grip is way too slick, and it's a hot, humidity day. Just to give you a warning, because if you go to Saudi Arabia and you do that, you're going to completely destroy yourself. So, literally, I got to say this pay-per-view worthy match because, honestly, it gave me the vibe. Like, it gave me, like, that Sami Zayn versus the Johnny Knoxville type match. Like, it was entertaining. Like, it's not
that match.
it's not meant to be a wrestling match. It's meant to just entertain you. Like how y'all just said.
Wee man in a thong. I'm sorry. Can't do it.
The hand.
I didn't like the wee man part. The hand part was pretty funny because it's Johnny Knoxville that came up with it.
Okay.
So like how y'all say the average fans, like, if they're not wrestling fans, they would love that match just because of just entertainment standpoint. Honestly, they could have done a segment for Jackass new movie and put that in that. But this was not meant for a wrestling match. This was literally just for entertainment. And the two guys that I could say that literally could put over celebrities and make them look gold is Baron Corbin and Miz. And I think it delivered. I mean, Pat McAfee is literally, if I know he has his little boxing ring and he does all those crazy jumps and all that, he needs to work on his ring awareness. He needs to work on his agility, his endurance. I tell people right now, the way I look right now, I've seen people that are Marines blown up running the ropes 3 times. It is a different animal. And then you're taking these bumps constantly. Like, you're getting your breath taken out of you for those seconds. Like, it is a tough thing to get into. So I give Pat major respect because he's an on and off guy. Like, he's not wrestling repetitively. And I think the way this match got over is because the announcers. Because that is, I mean, Pat McAfee has saved commentating for WWE, period. Literally. He is their savior and he's made Michael Cole 10 times better than he's ever been in his life. So I gotta say pay-per-view worthy because it was entertaining. I liked it.
Okay. You got anything, Doc?
No, I'm actually watching it now, but I like Pat McAfee because he put on a freaking show. Last week, like the time I've seen him, yeah, it was a show.
It was great.
Baron shaved that little mustache off his lip. I hate that people sit there and think that is the new style now. That junk is the weirdest thing to me.
The mustache.
That mustache, look, you had no facial hair and just that little mustache. Like, you really want to caterpillar right above your lip? Like, come on.
It doesn't really. I mean, he looks fine. He got the chin hair too, though.
But I mean, if he goes as a babyface, you know damn well he's not gonna have that thing. Oh my gosh, that reminds me of the Cody Rhodes thing when they did the little mustache crap.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Little Big E had that before too. Just the mustache.
Yeah. All right. So this I thought was gonna steal the show, at least to me. It didn't. I guess the only way I can put this, it did not live up to Money in the Bank. It was not the Money in the Bank match, not even close to me. They had the hype. The Street Profits coming out with the Titans gear on, with the Titans cheerleaders, and then the Usos coming out. I thought for sure, I went wholeheartedly believed, heart, mind, and soul, that this was the Street Profits' time. Okay, it just makes sense. That's why you did the angle at Money in the Bank with the shoulder up. Okay, we're gonna run it back. We're gonna have a banger match again, but this time Street Profits going over. Yeah. Nope. This was, unfortunately for me, this was middle of the road. This was a middle of the road match. I thought they kind of, I don't want to say phoned it in, but I guess you kind of gotta say phoned it in. Compared when you compare this match to the last match they had, this was not even close to that. It didn't have the once the match started, it just didn't have it. Angelo Dawkins was not doing nearly the stuff he was doing in the last match. I didn't feel the intensity from Montez. I didn't even feel the intensity from the Usos. It just felt like they were on autopilot, really. That's what it felt like to me. And the fact that they still lost and they didn't tell a story. There was no story with this. You didn't break up the Street Profits, and the Street Profits still lost. So what the hell was the point of this? Is it because these are the only two tag teams you got? So for me, yeah, middle of the road. That's all I can give it. And that, to me, being nice. Rob, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm with TV quality, something we could see on Raw. Definitely a huge drop from what we had seen before. And I thought having Jeff Jarrett in there, and, we saw him immediately kind of take charge of the match, making sure they broke at the count of 5 and all of that. I thought that was kind of corny. I know they're trying to establish that, hey, I'm the law here, but I just thought it messed with the flow of the match. I did predict the Profits to win because I thought, why not? You have them in the spot. They're hot right now. Why not have them get over? I don't think it hurts the Usos. Michael Cole was talking about how these guys might be the best tag team of all time. Now, I don't know if I'm ready to say that, but look, they're definitely in the conversation.
Top
because
5.
In the 80s, when I first started watching WWF, it was at the time, tag team wrestling was huge. You had the Rockers featuring a young Shawn Michaels. You had the Hart Foundation. You had the British Bulldogs, Davey Boy, the Dynamite Kid. You had the Can-Am Connection. You had the Hart Foundation. I mean, you had so many great tag teams, and then it became a dead zone. But then the Usos came along, and they brought it back almost single-handedly. Shortly after that, the New Day came, and the rivalry between those two teams really elevated the tag team division, kind of brought it back from the dead. So, but with all of that said, I thought it was just time for another tag team to kind of step up and join those ranks. And I thought it would be the Street Profits, but it wasn't to be. The Usos won. And like you, I kind of wonder what the point was. Obviously, to me, it looks like sooner or later we are going to see the breakup of the Street Profits because there's just no place for them to go at this point. They've been in the title picture a couple of times. They've always fallen short. To me, what that says is that we like you guys. We know the crowd enjoys you, but we don't think you're championship worthy. They think they have something in Montez Ford. I think we eventually are going to see the breakup of these two because there's nothing for them to do as a tag team at this point. So TV quality, but I think we've seen the end of the Street Profits in the title picture and maybe the end of them as a tag team sooner rather than later.
Could be. I don't know. It kind of hurt. I was like, damn, they really didn't win. And to see that shot, I was kind of waiting to see if they were going to cut an angle. And they didn't. I was like, well, what was the point? You know? But Marlo, what did you think? As the wrestler among us, the real wrestler among us, what did you think?
Right. Yeah.
I gotta say this. I'm a big fan of Street Profits. I've been a big fan of Angelo Dawkins when he got into NXT. I love the fact that he just told a story with his headbands. I don't know if anybody remember those when he had the two headbands. Like if one of them popped off, like he just literally lost it, like just turned into some crazy character. Like I sat there and said, he knows the idea of storytelling. The way they did this match, obviously, I knew it was sped up. I knew what was going to happen because, like we said from the beginning, the main focus was to make sure they gave enough time for the main event. Obviously, we knew the Usos were going to be involved in the end. So you're going to narrow these down. The ones that are going to have to be in another segment, of course, you're not going to have in a fast-paced match. Clearly with Theory and obviously with the Usos. I think both teams were frustrated with this match because they thought that, hey, we almost deserved a damn main event after that match we did with Money in Bank. Like, literally, I'm telling you right now, I told people, I said, you better never say that Angelo Dawkins has nothing if they split because Angelo Dawkins wrestled his ass off that match.
Mm-hmm.
I've been on 4 or 5 podcasts and I've literally said, why do y'all think Angelo Dawkins doesn't have anything? They're like, well, Montez is just characteristic and stuff. I said,
no.
I was like, Angelo does exactly what he wants to do. Yep. Like, Angelo is going to be a freaking phenomenal guy. Like, I really think Tez will be a heel before Angelo, which I think the split's going to happen, obviously, because we know The Rock is putting his initiative in for Montez. Everybody's been talking about Montez. And you just look at Montez. Montez is going to be a star. Yeah. But Angelo Dawkins is going to be that sleeper guy around people. Mm-hmm. And when I think of this tag team, I look at Enzo and Cass, literally. And I think the split of that is going to be kind of like that scenario. It sucks. I really thought the Usos were going to win because I already knew just because it's the bloodline. I think it's going to hold off until like a Survivor Series or something, just so they finally get a reckoning in. I really was upset knowing that they redid this match, knowing how the finish was going to be. But it hurts. Fuck.
Yeah. I agree with everything you said because especially with Angelo Dawkins, I said that on the Money in the Bank show that
Angelo's going to be a
he's
star.
He's not a case that he's not going to be Shawn Michaels leaving
Marty Jannetty.
Marty Jannetty. It's not that case. It's not that situation. Dude can work the mic. He's got personality. He's gotten in better shape in the last 6 months.
Yeah, people don't realize this man lives in Cleveland. He's in Florida every single week, going over to TJ's to be trained every single week. Angelo is doing 5 wrestling shows a week and then still going to training in Florida to go over to Natty and TJ's wrestling ring that they got in their freaking garage. And they train independent guys. And Angelo's there every single week learning by TJ, or if when nobody knows, Tyson Kidd. So he is trying to perfect something new. He's trying to prove like, hey, I belong here too.
Yeah. That the
I gotta
stuff
say,
he was doing in the
it
Money
was
in the Bank match, the moonsault over the top rope and stuck the landing. So he always did that kind of spinning stinger splash in the corner, but he added the insecurity kick as well. It's like this dude is 6'5" doing that shit, and that says a lot.
he's not a small boy at all.
No.
I gotta say,
And
it's
Doc
gotta
can
be a
relate
2B,
because Doc
2B
is
quality just
same
because of
size.
the Street Profits. I love both tag teams. They've literally have carried this tag team genre for a long time. I can't rank it bad just because it's these guys and what they delivered at Money in the Bank.
Yeah, that was great. That was amazing.
One of the greatest.
I had a teardrop in my eyes because I was like, Street Profits just proved that they belong. Finally, they proved that they belong.
I was just happy that WWE proved that they could put on a good tag team match. That's all the Young Bucks talk about is we own the tag team division, and they do. But WWE, if they really put their
that's
mind
another
to
subject. That's another subject.
it, yeah.
I know
We'll
y'all
talk about it
disagree with my
sometime.
opinion on that one.
We'll have to talk about it sometime. I'm curious to hear what you got to say.
We going all out.
Oh,
so
that's
we'll
how me
talk
and
about
Book got really well along because he talked about that AEW show that y'all went to, and just talk about the smile he had when he talked about Kenny Omega.
Yeah.
And I actually went back and watched a couple of Kenny Omega's matches. And I was like, yeah, I can see what he's talking about, but I'm just like, there is one thing he's missing, and it's going to make it to where he's not that number one guy.
The one thing that always makes me feel good about, MJ Book is that we went to that show because he got to see so many people that he's been dying. He had been dying to see Kenny Omega.
He finally got to see Punk.
He had been dying to
see
Punk.
That is the big thing that
he's been dying
to
see Young Bucks.
Yep.
He got to see everybody on that show, and it was just.
And then that Omega, man. I gotta say this, man. He rarely ever smiled, but when he talked about that Kenny Omega, man, it was like literally he was like talking about like being at a friend's wedding and like him getting to be like a best man type scenario. Like that was like a larger than life feeling for him.
Oh, Book laughed a lot, especially there was that night.
Oh, he would give me like these serious looks because I like to piss him off because this was still around the time with the Bobby Lashley and the Lana segment. And oh my gosh, Book would have a field day. Like I literally would do it on purpose because sometimes like he literally would just like kind of like sound robotic, and I was like, no.
It's just
funny
what do
you
you
think
say
about the
that?
Lana and Rusev thing? Oh, this is absolutely horse shit.
Yeah. Yep.
And that was being nice.
And it looked like, nice. and you know, with his glasses and stuff, it looked like he just had cracks in his sunglasses just from the rage that he would talk about that stuff.
Listen, you have to go back maybe at some point in time, listen to any card that has Goldberg on there, and me and him, go at it.
Yes.
Gloves off.
You told me about one of y'all's episodes, and I think one of y'all were praising Goldberg or something, and Book said he was done. He's like, no.
Listen to last year's SummerSlam show.
Yeah. Yeah. Anytime Goldberg is on the card, me and him.
Listen, those are.
Rob would just sit back. He was just like, all right, here we go.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, babe, just pop the popcorn. It's going to be a long one.
I would always try to be the middleman, but man, these two, they would go at it over Goldberg.
Yeah. It was never, it was always entertaining. And it never went past that. But it was just like, I can't convince this man at all. He will not budge.
He hated Goldberg. He hated Goldberg just as much as he hated Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll tell you, though, leading up to this show, I listened to last year's SummerSlam, and I'm telling you, that's one of our funniest podcasts. All of our predictions, Eric, from you to Book to me, all of us talking about that Goldberg-Lashley match, that's some of our funniest material.
Oh, my God, yeah. Well, I do think talking about Alexa Bliss versus what's her name was hilarious too.
Bailey.
No,
Oh, he hated. Oh my God, I remember he
versus
was saying something
who-
about one
no,
of
the
them.
skinny girl.
Which one?
Eva Marie. That's what it was. It was
Oh,
Oh God.
versus Eva
yeah,
Marie.
that was
Yeah,
bad
I can
too.
already tell you what he already would said about that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one was hilarious too. Speaking of MJ Book,
Okay, here we go. Here we go.
yeah, if he was here, there's no doubt in my mind
He'll date this match alive.
that he'd have been waiting. I'd been talking, Rob would have been talking, the doc would have been talking, the Marlo, you'd have been talking, he'd have been sitting back like, yep, I'm just waiting.
He had the slide waiting to hit click. And
I
Oh.
was just thinking that same thing, Marlo.
Yep.
He already had it waiting.
He had it wait, he had it queued up, wait, like, yeah, they talking. Uh-huh. But at this point in time, I'm with him. Because this
Oh shit. Oh shit.
Wait.
it's not Fireball because that was his thing. I drink tequila. But in Book's memory, it is the flaming. It gets the flaming fucking F of the night.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, listen here. I predicted that Bailey would come back and interrupt this match, and we would get a no finish. And I thought that would have made sense. Bailey's on SmackDown. She was on SmackDown when she left. And she had I get she had a feud with Bianca, and that's probably why they're doing what they're doing now. But she was on SmackDown. This whole thing, this is the second pay-per-view in a row they've done this. Not the same match, but just doing this thing where somebody tapped out, but somebody was also pinned at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, that was the best you could come up with. That was the only way out. I would have rather had you just have Liv beat Ronda. And for all intents and purposes, Ronda beat the shit out of Liv Morgan tonight. And I was all about Ronda. I was like, well, she's about to win this title back. We talked about this earlier. This is what I meant. That armbar doesn't mean shit anymore. They officially ruined that finisher. You cannot have Liv Morgan continue to get to the rope. The purpose of a armbar, a Kimura, that type of move is like as soon as it's on.
That should be locked in, yeah.
As soon as I wrench back, you're done. You either tap out or your arm's broken. That's it. So the fact that she was able to keep into the rope and all that shit was pissing me off. Okay, you just ruined this finisher. Now Ronda has to come with something else. I don't know. I was annoyed with this whole thing. Even though Rob did, the prediction came true. She turned heel. She attacked the ref. She did all that after the match. I don't care. It looked, the optics looked bad. And they made Ronda, I don't even blame Ronda. They just made her look bad. They made Liv look bad. Liv is the champion, and she got bitched in this match. It's bad booking. It's bad booking all around. And it's only so much Triple H can do, right? He can't book everything perfect. Okay. Yeah. This is GFY for me. They can go fuck this match. It's bad. Nothing good to say. Nothing. I got nothing good. Marlo, I dare you to try to find something good.
Oh man, like I've always said, man, you got to have a good dance partner, and I had a feeling this was not going to be that one. Liv has came up to a hype, and she became a pro wrestler. Liv kind of proved tonight she cannot carry and wrestle anyone. That was really bad.
Mm-hmm.
Ronda did what she could. I think the story was to kind of like tell, hey, Ronda, you throw away the nice girl, if you want to do this shit right, you got to be that badass type scenario. I think that's what they can go with, which, like how you just said about the armbar, that's one thing that pisses me off. And that's why I kind of hate submission sometimes. It's just because the moves don't freaking matter anymore. I gotta go with BS.
Some bullshit, huh? Okay. All right.
It's got it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
it's a high show, and
yeah,
you gotta have a delivery.
Exactly, and that's the thing. This isn't like
this is a title match. It's not just a women's match. This is a title match. So.
Yeah, it's not Great Balls of Fire. It's not. It's not WrestleMania Backlash. It's not Judgment. It is SummerSlam. And that was my biggest problem with last year's SummerSlam when they did the Goldberg Lashley match in the disqualification. I'm like, I don't care if Goldberg loses, just have a finish. This is stupid. But yeah. All right, Rob, man, go ahead.
Man, this is poor booking. I want to go GFY. I bought Fireball because I thought for sure that we would have a match that deserved it. This came close. But I did predict correctly that Ronda would go heel. I think it's better for her. But damn, they didn't do any favors for Liv either. This whole
terrible.
This whole victim mentality thing of her being this underdog and crying all the time and always in this desperate situation to win, it means everything to me. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. So you put the strap on her. Do you believe in her or do you not? Okay, if you believe that she is championship material, well, then damn it, she's got to stand up and fight like a champion. Ronda ragdolled her all through this match.
Yeah,
that's not the look of a champion. And look, the armbar. Look, Ronda's fine because she still has the ankle lock. She still has the Piper's Pit. I was okay with the armbar stuff, but you just can't have the champion getting ragdolled like that. You can't have her tearing up all the time every time she faces a little adversity. You know, we would have many discussions about Liv Morgan last year. And I finally came around. Okay, she's ready to be champion. I don't know if it's her. I don't know what it is, but the booking for this match was terrible. This should have been a hard-fought match that Liv should have won, to me, clean. And then you still could have had Ronda go heel because I do think that's the right direction for her. But to have this thing where Liv taps at the same time while having Ronda with her shoulders down. So now we got to run this back.
Yep.
It was terrible. It was weak. They didn't do anybody any favor. Who's the heel in this one? Who's the face? I mean, Ronda obviously went heel, but to me, Liv didn't look like a face. Bad all around. Could have easily been GFY, but I'm going to go some bullshit because I just feel that's the more appropriate grade, even though I'm really pissed at the way this match played out.
Yeah. Both of y'all hit on the thing that really bothered me the most was Liv is your champion and you have her looking like the chicken shit. And it's like, we know that Ronda, like we all know that Ronda at the end of the day could snap everybody's arm in the back locker room if she really wanted to. Okay, let's just be real. So I almost would have made more sense if Liv was the heel and was using heel tactics against Ronda versus having Ronda, like you said, ragdoll her ass, which was like this doesn't even look good on paper. Like you had Ronda look like Brock Lesnar in this match, which is okay, good for Ronda, but Liv, it just doesn't look right having Liv walk out with the championship knowing you got your ass kicked. Okay, at the end of the day, however you want to put it. Yeah.
I don't think Ronda agreed to something in the back. I think that's what it was.
No, this was Ronda's idea. Based on my research, this was Ronda. This whole program was Ronda's idea.
I don't think the finish with her tapping, and I think that was a little of an off thing.
The finish was off, definitely. Oh, that's what I wanted to say. Especially you would get this, Marlo. the placement of this match before the main event. If you know anything about wrestling, you know that the match before the main event doesn't mean shit, because everybody goes to the bathroom, everybody goes to get their next drink, everybody's getting ready for the main event. They know this is the worst spot on the card, any card.
That's usually where all the females used to have. That's usually what the women's matches used to be, or they had like a little segment before the main, just to kind of like get everything set up. Which, yeah, it sucks that they did a title match like that.
And while this is still better than any Diva Era's match, it's still like you're putting, okay, well, where we gonna put this Ronda Liv match at, y'all? No, we ain't gonna put it first. No, we ain't gonna do that. For the main event, okay, all right. So, any event, let's get to by far, and nobody probably gonna disagree here tonight, the best match on the card, and I guess I gotta preface this was a match nobody wanted to see again, because we've seen it 1,000 times. But I guess when you add the last man standing stipulation, it gives you more creative freedom. And boy, creative is going to be the key word in that sentence, because as long as I've been watching wrestling, I don't ever recall a tractor being involved in a match. I've seen Stone Cold with the beer trucks. I've seen Kurt Angle with the milk truck. I've seen bulldozers with Undertaker in the Buried Alive matches. I've seen a Zamboni. I've seen very regular cars being involved. Whatever. Never seen a tractor.
Really?
Nashville. It fits Nashville.
Brock comes out. Oh, Reigns comes out first, which I'm mad about because he's the champion. But then Brock comes out and he kind of stops at the walkway, goes back, and there's a big ass tractor behind him. I'm like, oh, okay, well that makes sense. And he drives the tractor, which also took a very long time because it's a tractor. They don't go that fast. I don't know about y'all, but I was worried because Brock parked it and he had I don't know what's called, the scoop. He had the scoop like partially in the ring. And I'm like, that could go really wrong if somebody hits the ropes too fast. But okay. And I'm thinking, I had it in my head. I didn't want to text the group because I was like, I don't want to telegraph my grades or anything. But I'm like, if they got a tractor that could lift that ring, they got to use that. These two found a way to make this match interesting again and brutalized. I guess it's a testament. Good brother Blake, I know you listening or watching. There was no blood in this match, and it was still these two's best match they've ever had together, hands down.
Brock bled on the back. I think it was inadvertent.
He did bleed on his back. You're right. One of the table spots. But you know what I'm talking about. The job,
Right.
There was none of that. But there was storytelling. There was intense moments where they were just trying to get each other down for 10. And they were selling that they kept standing up. And then when Paul Heyman got in Brock Lesnar's face and Brock's just like looking at him, and he's just like, I'm tired of your fat ass. And he just F5'd and threw it in the house table. I was like, okay, well, there we go.
Shout out to Paul.
Yeah. And Paul sold the hell out of it. And, he's big enough to break that table down.
He earned his beard.
You probably could have just laid him on the table and it would have broke.
You just slide him.
Yeah. Roman did, these Samoan drops on Lesnar, put him through multiple tables. I liked how they gave them both moments in the match where they were both dominating. That was great. But the moment of the match is when Brock goes back to the tractor. He went to that tractor 3-4 times, but when he goes back and he drops the shovel, and I'm like, you got to do it. Picks up the ring, and you just see Roman just roll out the backside.
That could have been really bad too.
That could have went really bad. And I was worried. I'm like, well, I hope there's not too much underneath the ring that people can see that would telegraph y'all show. But okay. But that visual, and they left it there. They didn't drop it back down. They just left the part of the ring and just sitting up there. I was like, okay, well, I guess we're done in the ring. And I know this was a thing with MJ Book. It didn't matter how great the match was. If he saw one Uso, it was an F.
Oh yeah.
And
oh my gosh.
Both of them came out
about it.
and got involved with the match. It is what it is. It's the last man standing, no disqualification. They got involved. Brock fending them off at the beginning. It would take a double super kick, 3 or 4 spears, and then them to bury him under everything, the announce table, chairs, everything, steel steps to keep Brock down. So he did look strong at the end of the day. And Roman won the match. But the way it played out, I thought was great. This also was superb to me. I think it was the best match that these two have had. And if you're telling us this is the last time they're going to wrestle, I think it's the best way to go out. You have to establish Roman as the guy that's going to take this company into the future. And it's poetic because Rob and I did the retrospective of SummerSlam from 2002 when Brock beat The Rock. And now you have his cousin. Wow. Now you have his cousin beating Brock and Roman. And if they really are going to do what we think they're going to do at WrestleMania in Hollywood, of all places, Roman and Rock. First of all, Rock is going to have way more ammo on the mic than Roman could ever muster. But Roman could say, yeah, Brock kicked your ass at SummerSlam, and I beat him multiple times. So, I mean, this is just a feather in Roman's cap. So, keep building him up. I saw you, Rob, but there's no way that Roman's ever going to match The Rock on the mic. There's just no way. But if you're trying to add intrigue to that feud, this is one of those things. But at the end of the day, the right man won. Got to build a new empire. You got to build new stars, and Roman is he's that dude right now, and it'd be foolish to take the title off of him right now. Honestly, I'm actually gonna throw to you, Doc, because I want to know what you think. That Roman won. He's still this. They gotta come up with something else. This is the dumbest name. The undisputed Universal WWE Champion, whatever it is. It's too long. Like who
said it took 45 seconds just to say the whole thing.
Just to say the whole thing. Yeah. It's too long.
That's like a tongue twister.
Yeah. Just your thoughts real quick, and then we'll throw to you, Marlo.
I don't know. I honestly, with the whole, what else? What else can you do with Roman? Like, who's next? What you gonna do with Brock? He steady gets title shots and loses to Roman. I do want to see Seth and Roman. I think that'll be dope.
Drew is next.
Yep.
Oh, that's right. I don't see
Cody is going to be back at some point. There's a lot they can do with Roman.
I would love to see that, Cody and Roman, but I'm over Drew too. Stop putting him in the stop. Just
yeah. If I'm doing way too early predictions,
it's in his hometown. It's in his home.
I think Drew wins.
Mm-mm.
It's that WrestleMania.
It's too soon. But yeah, but yeah, I'll talk about that in a month.
Okay. All right. Marlo, what did you think of the main event?
Hey, I'm gonna let him go first because I'm gonna probably pick from the beginning to the end. I don't want to.
Okay. All right, Rob, go ahead.
All right. Well, first of all, as far as Roman and Rock and their feuds with Brock, The Rock could always say, "Look, yeah, I did lose to Brock, but you beat Brock with the help of your little cousin, so maybe it's not such a big win." But
I thought you were gonna say you beat the older Brock. Brock beat me. He was 20. He was 24, 25.
There's that point too. So, like I said, but it'll be fun the back and forth. Now, as far as this match, you know what? I'm the oldest man on this podcast. I'm more of a traditionalist. Okay, and I know a lot of people are going to say, "Man, this was awesome." I mean, we saw Brock use a tractor. I've never seen a tractor used in a wrestling match before. Well, do you know why we've never seen it? Because tractors don't belong in wrestling matches. That's why you've never seen it. It shouldn't happen. They don't belong in wrestling matches. Now, when Brock comes out and he's standing at the scoop, you call it, because I don't know what the technical name for that part of the tractor is. Let's just call it the scoop. So at the beginning of the match, when he's standing in the thing, I'm like, okay, obviously Brock's just not going to gently jump down into the ring. He's going to jump on Roman immediately. That was cool. There was another segment where he actually puts Roman in the scoop, lifts him up, and then drops him back into the ring. To me, that fall didn't look too devastating. I mean, I think it would have been more devastating if Brock just grabs him and suplexes him. That probably hurts more than just dropping him from the scoop. And then Brock takes the tractor and he lifts up the ring and Roman goes rolling out of the ring. Now, I don't know how much that hurts, but I doubt very much. I think any of us on this podcast could have taken that bump. I'm not impressed with a tractor lifting a wrestling ring. I'm just not. I'm not impressed with a tractor at ringside. I think it's dumb. I would have much rather these guys just beat the hell out of each other, man to man, hand to hand combat. Last man standing. Okay, they didn't mention nothing about tractors. It's called last man standing. Now, I'm not even a big proponent of blood or blading, even though I think it's a part of wrestling and it always should be. But I thought in this match it was appropriate, either some blading or bleeding the hard way. Based on the history of this feud and how big and bad these guys are, I thought that would have been appropriate. Brock, as I said, bled, but it was inadvertent, I think, on that table spot. I don't think he was supposed to bleed. But I think in this match that some sort of blood would have been appropriate. I would have liked it if the Usos had not gotten involved, because I think you do a much better job of making Roman really look like that dude. Like, I am the man now. But, and I know it's heel shit, right? Having your little cousins run down and have your back. I get it. But do you think Brock Lesnar would have needed any help when he beat Roman down all those times? Did Brock need anybody to help him do that? No, Brock only needed
Paul Heyman did.
I was going to say, Paul did play a part.
Paul did help.
Okay, but Heyman, I mean, really, how much can Heyman really help a match? You know what I mean?
Physically, he would.
It's not the same as having. Yeah, it's not the same as having your two cousins who are the current tag team champions come down to help you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, look, I understand he's a heel. I'm not going to crush Brock or Roman too much for that. But I do think if you're trying to establish Roman as that dude, because as I said on our prediction show, Brock is kind of in the twilight of his career. I don't think he's going to go away because he's still relevant and the crowd is still going to pop anytime they hear that music. You know, I pop when I hear it because I know when Brock arrives, asses are going to be kicked. There's going to be some damage done. I like it. But Roman is the dude now. And I think in this match, being that it's probably the last match between these two, at least God, I hope so, you really needed to look, you could have had everything happen the way it happened, even the damn tractor, if you want to throw it in there. You could have left the Usos backstage, but you still could have had Roman finish Brock by burying him under all that shit, and it still would have been believable. And I think it would have been better for Roman. But I didn't like the way it played out because I do think having the Usos come down takes away a little bit from it, and I'm not impressed by a tractor at ringside or lifting up a ring. I'm just not. just doesn't
Well,
excite me. Didn't
okay,
do anything for me.
maybe they wanted to say, okay, Brock's not going to win, and Brock maybe came back with the mindset of I got to do the favor. You know, The Rock did the favor for me all those years ago. I've beaten Roman numerous times at Mania and SummerSlam, and so I'm okay doing the favors, but at least make me look good on the way out. Make
me look like Brock. Yeah,
because at the end of the day, like you just said, this is the last time they're going to face each other. But when Brock comes back and he has a feud with somebody else, it's got to be. He still has to have that fear factor. Yeah, and mystique.
I think 20 years of ass kicking gives him the fear factor. When he beat Taker at 30, nobody interfered. He just pinned Taker. He
honestly,
just pinned him.
Brock would never even have to win or even any match standpoint. He wouldn't even have to win or lose. Like him beating Undertaker, that solidified him completely over.
Yeah, anyone. I forgot about that.
Honestly. Yeah, I mean,
anyone.
Hey, we talked about Goldberg, Big E. Goldberg, the first time he came back and fought Brock, beat him clean in old Goldberg style. Did it hurt Brock?
Nope.
No.
So that's what I'm saying.
I mean, how many spears did it take him to take? He took 2 spears and then a jackhammer, correct?
Yeah. His legacy.
So it made Brock look strong because, hey, you took more than one finish. Like, those are the matches, like, I mean, honestly, if we want to go, that was how Rock and Austin matches went. They would go back and forth. Rock would use the stunner. Austin would use the rock bottom. And then when they finally hit their finish, it's either that 1, 2 at the very last second, or obviously still pain hurts me. I'm a diehard Rock fan. I hate the fact that he won every freaking time almost. 1, 2, 3, when Stone Cold hit him with the 3rd or 4th stunner by then, after steel chair and after everybody would jump on Rock, whatever. But I kind of had that feel with this match. And I agree with you on that completely, Rob, because this match right here, Roman, they should have had a segment where he was in the back telling the Usos, like, I got this. Don't come back here. And kind of like make it a little sketchy issue for the bloodline, because obviously they need to have a different story to keep going, because the way they're booking this right now is like Jay Cargill. Like, there's only so far you can do. Like, literally, it's like that what if moment. Like, when you're watching AEW now, you're sitting there watching her matches. You're like, who else she got? Who else she got? Like,
right.
What's going on? What's going on?
So, the only match in AEW for Jade Cargill that's interesting is her and Britt Baker. That's it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, with Roman, who else is next? We've seen the Drew win. Now, I'm going to probably spoil everybody. I'm 9,000% sure they're not putting McIntyre in there and not letting him win that Newcastle. That is the payoff from, hey, sorry we let you headline a WrestleMania that had no fans at all in the building. I'm going to give you this one at your home. I think that's fair enough. Like, I think that is what we're going to get out of this.
Yeah,
but I got to say this. The tractor fit. The reason why the tractor was in the match, because it was Brock's persona. Brock brings out that country boy, and of course, it's in Nashville, Tennessee, out of all places. If they would have brought a truck with a bunch of hay and bring it down the ring, guess what? It makes impact because the crowd is going to love it. That is something that they're used to. That is something that they would be excited about. So I got to say, and Rob, you sounded so much like booking that, because I guarantee he would have literally not even cared about that tractor in that match. Like, literally, he would have looked at it and go, so Roman Reigns just decided to be a pinball for the rest of the match. Like, literally, like, that's something like I could already see him saying, like, and of course, when the Usos come on, he might even went like, I'm cutting the TV off. I'm done with this. Like,
yeah, that's exactly
it.
what he would have
said. That's it. So I gotta say, from point A from point B, the tractor, I thought it brought something interesting. The crowd loved it, and that is something that you want. You got to make sure is your main event has got to have the crowd invested, because they've been sitting in that sun in the heat for that solid 5 to 4 hours, or even more, because usually when they do the pre-shows, that's another 2 hours with 1 or 2 matches in between.
Oh God!
So I gotta say, the crowd did not even look exhausted. Like they looked like they were entertained. They enjoyed it from point A to the very end.
Oh, he's
and I gotta say, like the tractor involvement with it, it brought a different mystique to it. Like I did not expect it to be the hard hitting matches because that's what we've gotten already. We've already seen Brock Lesnar destroy Roman from day one. Like, I still thought if they were going to do this way, I really thought Roman should still have lost to Brock early on, just so this could made that even more impactful. Like Roman finally beat Brock, and then like, hey, the Usos came in, whatever, but Roman beat Brock. Like he finally got over his kryptonite. Like this is what got him on God mode, that they want to call him, whatever. That's where I was just like, that's like bringing Taker back after he lost his streak. It's like, bro, really? Like you want to lose 2 more? Like, come on now, come on. So the match itself, I liked it. It was creative. The one thing that I was shocked about is where there was a little piece of this table. I have never seen somebody do it in a match.
Oh, when he hit Roman in the head?
Where he hit Roman on that very small part and it cracked. It didn't just like fall back. It cracked. I was just like, that has got to be so much painful bump I've ever saw, and I'm just like, I hope he didn't get stabbed with that table, because that little part, I'm just like, did Brock really slam that on him?
Brock has been good at that for a while, where he'll take something that's already broken.
That's what I'm saying. That's what Brock is so popular for. People think Brock is just that guy that comes in there, throws people around, destroys. Like if you watch Brock Lesnar in the early days, Brock finds a body part for every possible thing in the match. Brock is one of the best storytellers when it comes to, with this generation of the roster, because Brock makes you care about this damn match. It don't matter if it's a 10-minute match, a 5-minute match, a 3-minute match. He's telling the story from all the way to the end.
And he can sell his ass off if he believes.
He proved it. He's proven it. And I'm telling you right now, Roman found his dance partner.
Okay, let me just ask a question. We talked about Liv and Ronda and how Ronda just looked like the stronger one in this match, even though Liv was the champion. That's how I felt. To me, Brock looked like the stronger one in this match. I mean, how many almost 10 counts did Roman take as compared to Brock? To me, they made Brock look stronger in this match than they did Roman, and that's not the way it should have been. When you're passing the torch, there should be no question that Roman is the dude now, but they still left it kind of open-ended.
So
I do see your point.
They changed that character, say like how you just said, Roman was that 10 count a lot. Mm-hmm. That's where the Usos came in. And then I think that's where they told the story with the tractor. Like they were trying to say, hey, Roman
but there was points in the match where Roman
went down the damn ring like a damn heel.
But there was points in the match where Roman was on top, and he actually was.
That's what I was saying. It was a back and forth. It wasn't
count
like
his ass out.
Squash.
But who looked stronger? Who do you guys think looked stronger in the match?
I don't think anyone looked different. I really thought they brought a certain level to a standpoint, because you got to think, from the very first match that Roman and Brock had, Brock just threw Roman every possible way. Roman had no chance in that match. And I mean, it told a major story. It was like, hey, this young kid is an up-and-comer, and he is taking one hell of a beating. Like the fans just cared about the guy because he was literally just getting thrown around like a baseball, basically, just that entire match. Then they went and wrestled again. Roman got a little bit of an extra comeback, and then Brock did the same shit.
And bleed the hard way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like they went for a long time where Roman just could not get over Brock, and then Roman went heel. All of a sudden, he got it. So this is the first match that you get to see. I mean, if you really notice, Roman has really been the only one that's really tested Roman is Brock. Out of everyone he's faced, Brock is the only one that's really tested him. So I'm not mad how this went, because honestly, it made them both look strong. I don't like the finish just because they pulled a page out of the Braun Strowman look. I don't like that part. If they're gonna put more things to weigh him down, I would say the stairs would have probably been smart. The stairs actually don't weigh that much, but they could have had that, and people have that effect just the way that noise and stuff.
The way Brock threw them stairs at Roman, though, I was like, God damn.
Yeah.
He had a running start and was like, whoosh. There's no way to get out the way.
So this is how I got my first encounter with Brock. Like, I went to a gym, and homeboy is sitting there throwing a monster truck tire. A monster truck tire. Like nothing. Brock is sitting there tossing this damn thing. I'm just like, there's no fucking way. No freaking way. I looked at it and said, you couldn't even pay me enough to wrestle this guy. None.
Rob and I went to a Raw, and we saw Brock F5 Mark Henry through an announce table. But that wasn't the most shocking thing. It was him. It was watching Brock take the announce table apart, and he had flung this monitor across.
Yep.
It went through the ring, the bottom of the rope, and almost hit it. When I say almost hit people in the head, it just nearly. These people must have had master reflexes to not get hit by that monitor, because
it was that close.
Oh my God!
I know the TV had to cut that off because
from where we were sitting, we were scared.
Like, it could have been bad.
Hurt somebody.
It really could have been bad. I don't think Brock meant to do it. Dude is just so strong; he just doesn't know his own strength. But it could have gone really wrong.
Can be a bad sucker sometimes, bro. But
think about that. Think about where the announce table is. He threw it through the ring and then went out the other end of the ring and into the other side of the crowd. And he didn't even look. It was like a no-look basketball pass. He just flung that shit. It was like, whoa,
man. So I'm gonna say the workers for the show tonight, they need to go in that locker room and say thank you for the house, because this match delivered. This match made up for what WrestleMania for me. I'm going to say it was superb. I can't say it's an instant classic just because the Usos got involved, and it was a storytelling match from point A to point, just to the end. I'm mad that Theory didn't get it. But there's a twist. He did not cash it in, apparently, because they did not ring the bell. So Theory still has the briefcase. So obviously, God forbid if they pull that plug out at Newcastle, let Drew win, and Theory cashes that shit in. Whoa!
Oh no,
it's gonna be
Drew ain't going for that.
And that's a Triple H booking though. That's what he done.
Nah, Drew wins. He's gonna keep it.
Mm-hmm.
He's legit.
But yeah, I gotta say it's definitely a superb.
I agree. I'll go superb on it. Like I said before, a little superb. I don't know, Rob. I can't recall what you gave it.
Despite all of my criticism, I still thought it was pay-per-view worthy.
Okay. All right. I know Doc, you still have to watch it, but I guess Clash at the Castle is the next event. It's 5 weeks from now. I don't know if it's a Saturday or a Sunday.
What's the day?
But, it's a Saturday because it's the day before All Out.
Okay. Oh shit.
Yeah.
That might be
the night before All Out.
That's a busy ass weekend. Rob and I are going to All Out, so that's gonna be
so I'll be here watching Clash at the Castle, and then early in the morning I'll be on the road to Chicago. I'm gonna stop downtown and go see the Prince immersive experience, and then drive to the hotel and wait for you to go to All Out.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we're going All Out. We got some good tickets because Rob is the ticket guy.
Oh man,
tickets.
They made me work for these, man. I had to work for these. I was on Ticketmaster literally all day. I was in the office trying to get these tickets, but we got them.
Yeah, that
at face value.
I can't even seriously. It is, and that's the thing. Face value, to get tickets at face value nowadays is hard. It's hard to do.
Yeah.
So it can't be understated. Seriously, thank you for keeping it up and we're doing it. We went last year, and this year is like I said, almost every show this year is a tribute to Book, but this more than any of them because it was our last show with him.
That's why I worked so hard to get these tickets, man. I wasn't going to give up, and luckily they came through.
And I'll
That's
never.
the thing I hate about, man. Book did not get to see Bailey come back.
I know, man.
And
as soon as I saw her come out, man, that's the first thing that came to mind was, man, he would be so pumped about that.
That would have made his show. That would have made the show for him.
Yep. But I take so much. The happiness I take away is that the fact that last year we did so many shows with him, more than we did with anybody else that we normally have on. And it wasn't even like a planned thing. It just kind of happened that way. And then we went to All Out and all that stuff happened before he got sick. And it was just like, man, I mean, I don't have any regrets because I can't. We did as much as we could. He was able to come to my house. He met my wife, he met my kids. You know, he got to. It was as much as you can do. We did, and that's what I'll remember the most.
And I said this on our tribute show, and Marlo, I know you contributed via recording, but this brotherhood, the podcast we all did together, the podcast he shared with you, man, I can tell you all, it meant the world to him, man. He loved everybody. He loved you. He loved all of us. This podcasting thing meant everything to him.
Yeah.
My one last match is because of him and because of my other friend, but Book, I you know how he's got to one up everybody, and he would talk about his backyard wrestling days.
Oh yeah.
So Book would try to tell me like credibility, like how to take suplex and stuff. And he's like, so how well do you think you were doing on this? He's like, well, I would take him and do this and then do this. You know, I got the Roddy Piper. That's my guy. Like I just wanted to work him like this. And he would tell me, he's like, trust me, me and we can relate to a lot of things. I had my fair share of bumps. I said, what you bump on, Book? He's like, well, we're not going to go into that, you know. Like, it wasn't afraid. He would sit there and say some stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, so you like that backyard wrestling? He's like, hey, it was a moment. And I will tell y'all this, man. For me to not see this man ever in person, it's crazy how close me and him got from this, because I loved his dry humor. Like some people it might just rub off wrong. He doesn't mean wrong with it. Like Book is very appreciative of everything that he's done. And like I've only met him for like a year, but it's like I knew him for so much longer. Like the conversations like we have. Like I tell people, like, we went for almost 2 hours on a podcast. I had to do a part 2 with him. We were off air, and I'm sitting there looking, I'm like, we've been talking for 3 extra hours. And it's just Book talking about like his Batman stuff. He was so excited about that Batman movie. Oh my Lord, he was so excited about that.
Breaks my heart that he
man. Yeah.
And as much as I hate Robert Pattinson, I went and saw that Batman movie just because of him.
We reviewed it thinking he would damn sure have saw it. And
I had a feeling he would have loved it. He would have loved it.
I think he would have too. I think he would have been surprised. I think he would have. I definitely think he would have.
He would have loved it. I do take pride in the fact that one of the last videos he ever did was a reaction video with me. Yep. We reacted to the trailer. And I'm like, well, I got that. But man, I wish he could have saw that movie.
That's one thing he talked about.
He loved Joker.
Freaking long, man.
He loved the way they did Joker. So I know he would have loved the way they did Batman.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
But the thing that they talk about him laughing, this guy over here in the corner that's falling asleep, Doc, used to make Book laugh so hard. I mean, Book, like you said, he wouldn't laugh much, but man, there was times he had Book in tears, and it was that is one of the reasons that keeps fool around, because it would just be little things. It wouldn't even be a lot of effort going into it. And Book would break down, and he couldn't. And once Book started laughing, he couldn't stop.
It could stop, yeah.
And literally, he had tears down his face, and something about seeing him laugh made me laugh harder. So, day one of this year when we did it, and Doc did his thing, and once I saw, I was already laughing because Doc had did his thing, and then I looked over and I saw Book was laughing too, and he couldn't hold it together, and that just made me laugh even harder.
He's trying to hold his head down.
Yeah, he tries to hide it, but you can see him shaking because he's laughing. It's just like, yeah, I'm done.
I guys like literally, I remember I did. I think it was the baby faces or it was the heels. And I told Book, I was like, you gotta change your slide, right? He's like, well, I'm just going to talk to I'm talking to the wrestling podcast. It'll be fine. I'm like, they're not gonna know why a Roddy Piper is just popping on your screen instantly while you're about to instantly probably talk about like a pay-per-view or something. And he took so much pride in that podcast. Much pride. Yeah. I remember when he was talking about doing the countdown thing, and I'm thinking it's going to be a simple thing. Like I had trouble doing the wrestling one. I'm just sitting there, I'm like, holy cow, I got to go back to this match. And Book was just sitting there telling me, he's like, yeah. And then when he pulled out his big old pamphlet and it had like 9 different lists of different movies or whatever it was, the one that he was dragging so much he hated that one was the Tropical Thunder one that y'all had to do or something. Oh. He would talk so much about that one. He's like, you don't know how much horse shit I just had to watch with Robert Downey Jr. over here. He had me crying. I was sitting there, I was like, is it a good movie? He's like, do you think it's good? He was getting so mad about that one. I was just like, why'd you watch? He's like, well, we had to review it. I was like, have you watched it before? And he's like, no, and I wish I'd never saw it before.
Yep. Yeah. That was the craziest thing about him. He would, if I asked him to watch something, he'd watch it. And then he'd let me know how he felt about it.
He's still the only guy I know that ever would praise Howard the Duck.
I was just going to bring that up. He hated Tropic Thunder, but loves Howard the Duck.
I watched Howard the Duck.
He praised the Howard the Duck thing. I remember when we were talking about it was the Marvel phases. It was one of the Marvel announcements one. I think it was right after the Endgame one. And he was like, maybe we'll get a Howard the Duck movie. I looked at Book. I said, are you kidding me right now?
He wasn't that wrong.
Like, he was so excited about that Guardians of the Galaxy. He's like, if Howard the Duck comes on, it's going to make it so
Howard the Duck showed up.
Yeah, he would not end up. He's like, it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
In the first Guardians of the Galaxy, the end stinger is
he's in that
Howard
water thing.
Oh, okay.
He's in that water tank thing.
Yeah. But yeah, I know we getting way.
I know, man. We went way off track. I guess we need to bring it back and wrap this thing up.
Sorry about that.
No, man. No. Hey, it's all good.
Thank you for coming on. This is a great moment. We've been talking about getting together, doing the show for a while. For those listening, watching, make sure you all subscribe and follow Buzzing with Marlo, with Warren Marlowe. Check out his podcast. Hopefully some of us can come on there and
absolutely. We got season 4.
When is your last match?
That's gonna be revealed on the very first episode. I can't really say. I will give a little sneak peek. We're gonna be going in September.
Okay.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Well, keep us informed. Keep us in the loop.
Yeah, please.
So we can absolutely. So yes. If you want to go ahead and plug away.
Yes. Everybody. I joke around, Google it, just type in Buzz One Marlin, you'll find a new platform every single week. I can't list every single platform that's on there. I know the particular ones is iHeartRadio, Spotify, Anchor, Google Podcast, LinkedIn. What was it? Yeah, LinkedIn's on there as well. Tune in. just found out Podbean, Podvine, and all them. I really also am on Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. I'm on all social medias, guys. Y'all can follow me. Type in American Prodigy. I'm there as well. This has been fun, man. Also, guys, going on Tuesday, I'm gonna do a tribute show. I mean, if everybody's been watching anything, I've been having a skit tribute to Book for like almost every episode since this event, sadly.
Cool.
We actually did one show that was literally a countdown of greatest WrestleMania moments, and that was a really cool one. And I was never big on countdowns, so it was a different show for that one. But man,
we have one coming up. We have one coming up. Rob and I are going to be doing top 10 Undertaker matches. So.
Ooh.
That's right up his alley.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a double tribute because Undertaker and then the countdown.
Yep. Yeah, man. So I greatly appreciate this, guys. Also, guys, y'all go on my thing. I'll send you the links. Also, type in bonfire / buzzing with Marlo. Put in buzz20, you get 10% off. You can get these nice tank tops we got. We just got the tank tops finally.
Oh, cool.
Godly, man. I've been praising for tank tops forever. Long sleeve shirts, stuff like that. You know, that's what makes the podcast more. So if y'all can, appreciate it. Thank y'all. If anything, man, I'm just glad I got to finally do this.
Oh yeah, we're glad to have you.
We've been trying to set this up forever.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's all I can do.
It's
literally I like got so much. I literally have to list everything. I was like, I got to get on this show. I got to make sure I'm still going to do this one. And I'm just like, I'm trying to make and I had to make sure I was on this one. I had to make sure. I greatly appreciate it. It was a blast.
We had to have you. Everything that we do at this point, as far as I'm concerned, is a tribute to Book and everything we do. I mean, we started it. It's funny. It was me and Rob when we started. And then when Book came along, he contributed so much to the point that it's so
he
different.
Has that energy. He has that energy, man.
He had the energy, but he like I said, this stuff back here, that was him. I'm just trying to live in his footsteps, you know. It is remarkable how people can come into your life and leave you with something, and then they leave, and you continue what they gave you. He was a gift. He really was. He was a gift to us, and he's one of the few gifts in my life that I can say that I cherish, and I think that we got the most out of, honestly. Okay, so make sure y'all follow Buzzing with Marlo. We're gonna check out his last wrestling match coming up, and make sure you follow us as well on all the social medias. Third Generation Wrestling Podcast on Instagram. You can follow us on Twitter, podcast_third, YouTube, Third Gen Wrestling, and email us thirdgenwrestling@gmail.com. Any comments, suggestions, questions, anything you want us to do, any recommendations. We've got a couple Trying to Laugh videos up. I'm doing a series right now. I'm reviewing those A&E specials that they're doing on the wrestlers right now. I was wrong. The next special is Kurt Angle. So I'll definitely be doing that one. And I'm working on the Undertaker one right now.
That was a good one. I did see that one. That one was good.
So yeah. And then Clash of the Castle will be the next Clash of the Castle and All Out are the next major pay-per-views. Rob and myself will be at All Out. We do have an interview coming up. I gotta kind of work that out with the Drunk Bucks. Rob, you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know exactly.
So we're gonna do an interview with them. And then we've got some movie reviews coming down the pipe as well. So Doc, thanks for coming on. I know it's been a long day for you, but we thank you for hanging in there. And obviously Marlo coming on. Finally, we got you. Book, this one for you. Rest in peace, brother. We miss you.
Always, my little bro.
And wouldn't be the same if Rob, you didn't take us out.
All right, I'm gonna make it quick. You know, we're going long tonight, but I know it was entertaining for y'all. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Listen to all the platforms that Big E talked about. Marlo, man, I did not know you were coming on tonight, man. It's great to have you here. It was great to meet you. I look forward to doing more shows with you.
Yes, man.
Of course, to my little brother, my cousin Book, we miss you, man. I miss you. SummerSlam is not the same without you. WrestleMania, all of them, none of them the same without you. And then last thing I'm going to say, Big E, we are going to do Ric Flair's last match tomorrow, correct?
Tomorrow, yes.
Okay, so we'll let you listeners know about that. And then last thing, this is just a personal thing for me. Today, actually yesterday, because now it is July 31st, but July 30th was the 75th birthday of the Terminator, the Governator, the Austrian Oath, the 7-time Mr. Olympia, the greatest action hero of all time, my favorite, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Happy 75th.
Here we go. I mean, hey, is Terminator playing on anything right now?
It's playing on my TV. I've watched everything Arnold Schwarzenegger.
No, but is it on any streaming service right now? So
I don't know. I own all the Terminator movies on Blu-ray, and I'm telling you, if you have not seen Terminator Dark Fate, I think that one is very underrated. Give that one a try if you haven't. Oh, so you have. Give it another look. I'm telling you now. Look, check, watch it again.
I think Salvation was the best they did after 2.
I like Salvation, but I watched Dark Fate for the second time, and I really appreciate it after watching it a second time.
All right. Maybe. I want to watch the original, so I'm gonna look it up. Maybe it's on HBO Max. But again, take care, everybody. We've been on here long enough. We appreciate you all. Hit that like button, subscribe, share, and we'll speak to y'all again later this week. Peace.